defensively on himself, and he's going to keep one aggressively that he can put on the enemy to do 25 damage per second for 8 seconds. So it's a nice way to add some damage to your jump.
Sableye trying to get back to his lane, it looks like, but Chrysalis has now joined in the fight. Takes down the Beastmaster as both teams bring like this 5v5 mid lane fight, which I honestly didn't expect. Very rare we see everyone coming to have a scrap there.
Super aggressive. Teki is trying to run away as well. He does have tranquil boots, so pretty fast. Scutters away to go deep into the enemy part of the map. Doesn't have level 6 yet, so he can't really plant any bombs yet though.
As we talked about, yes, you can build up stacks for yourself, but there's also the potential for the enemies to come and steal it. Liquid, they're going to realize now that someone has poked their head over the cliff and seen their large camp stack at the very least. Top lane, Mickey, using this ultimate, that global potential from the Spectre, showing us why this Spectre hero was picked against the Drow Ranger. Gets on top of her, keeps giving chase, and just needs a little more backup from his team. Boxy will arrive, but Chrysalis with a wise TP gets back to Fountain.
Didn't get vision on him, so Boxy could have cancelled that TP out with a blast off, but they didn't see where he TP'd out. It absolutely bamboozled them there. Chrysalis gets to safety.
So a bit of an unexpected escape. Liquid have to go back to where they were in their lanes. Spectre returns bottom. Beastmaster and Teki can continue playing top. Mickey has got to be a little careful now. Doesn't know where these enemy heroes are.
He's sitting back trying to play defensively. He has ulti soon, so he's probably ready to join the action top if this Elder Titan gets a little bit too close to tower. He just gets back to farming with the help of his Rubik.
Yeah, and one good thing here with Liquid taking that top tower and having a deep ward is they've seen the Drow Ranger. They know that Chrysalis is kind of tucked away and farming jungle camps. So this nice high ground ward gives a lot of vision and a lot of information for Liquid to push the top objective and then come into this jungle because they know it's very safe. It's clear for Beastmaster to do so.
Yeah, and that's why you saw Ducalis as well sneak in an observer ward on his high ground as well to try and keep the Drow Ranger safe. So vision is everything. You can see a blue area highlighting that they do in fact see Sableye right now. And this is going to give Chrysalis some information to work with so he doesn't get ganked. Vision is basically the most important aspect of Dota, I think. If you don't see your opponents, then it's very hard to play.
Yeah, it feels like that's what I've been hammering on the most about during this newcomer stream. A lot of times, especially when you get to mid, late game, ultra late game, just a brief moment of vision, that little bit of information makes the biggest difference when you're entering, very important, high-impact team fights.
Blink reveal on Shaker Smoke here.
He's gonna jump. Throws the Fisher. Still has it. Slam.
No, he doesn't have a slam.
He doesn't have it.
From the previous fight, but
get the kill anyway. And Sableye in the back looking at this Dark Willow as Boxy dies and the Chrysalis Drow has arrived, trying to force the Rubik back, while Sableye keeps running forward with the help of Nisha and all these summons. The Dark Troll, the Skeletons, and the Boar surround the Drow and get 3 kills for Liquid.
Yeah, Sableye bringing the whole zoo here. Some people are just out there playing one hero, but he is playing the Dark Troll Summoner who can summon those skeletons that increase the damage of every nearby unit. Not by too much, but it's 3 damage per skeleton. And it does stack up fully, so if you get 6 of those summoned, you can do a lot of damage with your auto attacks.
How long that Echo Slam cooldown is, huh? I'm so sure he's entering that fight with a Blink Echo, but no. Even now, still on cooldown for 20 seconds.
Just start out with very high cooldown. But once he gets to level 25, he could take that massive cooldown reduction talent. That's a long way away, though.
9 class finally going to remove that bit of vision Liquid have been playing into. He's being chased by all the Beastmaster summons, though, which is very irritating. All loses quite a bit of HP.
Goes into the Shadow Realm to become untouchable, and he kills off most of them with the Bedlam. So he's gonna get a little bit of gold for himself.
Liquid have put themselves in a decent spot right now. They've pressured Paravision into a position where they've kind of felt uncomfortable showing on the top or the mid lanes. A lot of vision from Liquid has been focused up there. But now it's Paravision's turn, right? They're starting to hit some of their timings. They're feeling a bit more comfortable, but they're literally walking through a minefield.
Yeah, difficult to smoke. Even though you are invisible in the smoke, you cannot be seen by anything. The mines that Techies plants down will activate if you walk near them, and that works as an alarm system. It basically tells you that the enemy are there. And they're using this to safely go for Roche. Look at the way Boxy has planted a few mines near the Roche pit, just to make sure that if anyone comes by from any angle, he will be alerted by those mines. It's very useful.
It just comes and takes out one of the mines.
Scaring him. He pulls a creep to the mine. He's like, they're here.
They're coming.
It's gonna be a safe and easy Roche, taking it down just with the Beastmaster without even having a point in wild access. Can still do Roche on the back of a lot of auto.
Yeah, on average, it feels like Roshan has taken 20, 25 minutes into the game. So this is a good 5 to 10 minutes faster than we usually see Roshan die. So Liquid with a very early lead, a very early key objective, and now having 2 lives on your Earthshaker remedies one of the problems that we identified earlier on. Right? He is a core hero who needs to jump in and commit himself and his body to the fight. So having 2 lives means that he can jump in and die without really caring too much.
Yeah. He's going to be able to play all that much more aggressively with it. So look for a Shaker to maybe even go up on the high ground here. It's always difficult to take a ramp, but he is sneaking up.
Yeah, right now, stutter stepping, right? Oh, but he misses! He misses the drow, and then gets silenced up. Nisha. Yeah. That's where you got
Vision. So
still going to get a kill on the core, though. They've got no one all wrapped up with a bow, but DM's come in with a blink reverse polarity. Takes out both of the Liquid supports. Dark Willow's in the Shadow Realm now as Saberlight has walked back in towards the Bedlam and the Drow damage. Paravision making Liquid pay dearly for that Nisha slip-up.
That's why it's difficult to go into those high grounds, and also trying to make that play with Shaker. He did see that Drow was farming the creep camp, so he estimated where she must be, but he was off by a little bit. Crystallis, just good positioning. This time though, he just jumped mid with Spectre ulti. That's a quick takedown.
Yeah, this time the Spectre ulti helping out big time.
This is a good time to talk about Spectre a little bit. So Spectre does have Blade Mail, and the hero has innately an ability that makes her reflect damage dealt to her. So he's double dipping into, if the enemy hit me, they're going to pay for it. They will take a lot of damage passively. That makes Spectre a very hard hero to focus. And then he's going to add up his next item. Is going to be the Radiance that burns enemies near him and makes him also have evasion. So this is a very, very good late game carry, and can still be active early thanks to her ulti.
Yeah, a lot of damage over time, right? Kind of not the hero that will come in and nuke someone immediately, but in a long drawn-out fight, this Blade Mail, earned Radiance going to do a hell of a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely. And it can be hard for a ranged carry like Drow Ranger when she gets jumped by the Spectre. You don't have too many options to deal with her. You try and silence and run away, that's basically it.
That's why we see Crystallis on the Drow building straight into the Hurricane Pike. So that's Dragon Lance gives you stats, a bit of additional attack range, combined with a Force Staff, which is the mobility item. It pushes you in a direction, so it should be able to push you away from the Spectre, and when you combine it, it turns it into an even better version of it. So when the Spectre jumps on you, you use it on the Spectre, it pushes her away and the Drow away the other direction.
Exactly. Very good way to get an opponent off you and get safety. No one goes up and farms the creep wave. He's kind of baiting for the Magnus. Has Magnus and ET behind him, so he's saying, yeah, go on me. I have my friends behind you. I can punish. Still, looks like Paravision are more happy to just farm as the Aegis is up on the Team Liquid squads. They're more dominant on the map right now.
Yeah, our friend BSJ, Banana Slam Jammer, one of his favorite phrases or words was dangling a while back. Spirit, dangling himself in front of Team Liquid like an anglerfish. The little light dangling above the massive toothed maw of the fish that's going to munch you up.
So it's the dangling fish.
Danglerfish, yeah.
Yeah, that's that. We rename it now. Go to the Wikipedia, change it. It's Danglerfish.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, so all of Paravision are playing on their area of the Ancients, but they're slowly losing their top tower. The map is shrinking for them as the Beastmaster is letting his summons do the work. Not going too out of position, but just pushing safely.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, it's a concept where you push lanes without showing yourself on the map. A good term, honestly, ghost pushing. It's very effective as well. Jumping lanes without putting yourself in danger.
Yeah, and honestly, one of the first kind of big lessons of Dota that I learned was Blitz, one of Liquid's coaches, back in the day when he was part of Join Dota, did a little video about pushing waves and the importance of it. You know, pushing wave might just feel like, oh, I've farmed some creeps, the wave is pushing, and now I can do other stuff. But pushing a wave means that you have more vision. The enemy has less vision. The enemy has less map space. Therefore, there's less areas or fewer areas that the enemy can be in. So there's this process of elimination thing here, where bottom lane, you know, Paravision have pushed this bottom lane. If no one comes to meet that wave, they know nobody's bottom. That means the enemies must be somewhere else, and you can kind of figure out through that process where the enemies are.
Yeah, basically Dota is a big game with a big map, but if you get backed into a corner like your own base, then you don't have too many places to go, and that makes you more predictable. So pushing lanes is great because it limits your opponent's movements and also opens up yours. They have such a big map to play now, we call it big map for Team Liquid, since they have taken away the tier 2 tower. Now they can just roam about and play the entire massive part of the map. Like all of the previous Paravision safe lane is for
Yeah, so Paravision right now, you know, going into top jungle is very scary. They don't want to go there because either A, Liquid are all 5 up there, or B, there are mines placed everywhere, or C, all of the above. So they're kind of fishing across the map to try and pivot from mid through the enemy agents area, which is unlikely to be, you know, a minefield full of mines from the techies. So it looks like Liquid currently sat in a position where they can just go through the Twin Gate and completely avoid this move.
Yeah, and they're setting up mines on the portal as well. This is such a nice move for techies, because if he leaves a mine behind, he can tell if someone is going there. All the time, these little mines are acting as scouting mechanisms. So it's hard now for Paravision to use the access to the Twin Gate, and that gives Liquid more control on playing both sides of the field.
What is Foxy doing right now?
And that gives Liquid more control on playing both sides of the field. I don't know. Was he just sitting and waiting for someone to come in?
Well, he did this weird like loop-de-loop where he was going through the Twin Gate, then decided to stop and stay top, and then went and ran like past the outpost, then ran back to the gate, went through the gate, came back again. I don't know if he was just indecisive of where he was going, or if he's trying to, maybe he thinks Paravision have vision and he's trying to bait them into thinking he's moving somewhere.
His master has been jumped.
And he's got a roll though, goes straight through the BKB, pierces that no one. But now with the RP and skewer, DM has found an opening. They don't pile onto this Earth Spirit, but Liquid have got enough sustain to withstand the damage. They get 3 kills without losing a single soul.
Beautiful connection.
They might still lose the Spectre here because 9 class is giving chase, but the Spectre with the blade mail, the armor, Shadow Realm is coming, but he's hiding behind a tree. He's in the fog of war, so can't be seen, can't be targeted. And Mickey there, beautifully done to evade danger and stay alive.
That was so close, and poor Darkwill trying to reach the Spectre still gets stunned through the Shadow Realm by the Nisha Shaker. AoE abilities will still connect on you, so a completely clean team fight for them. It looks like it could have backfired though if Nisha wasn't close enough to come in with a big Shaker connection, getting a nice ulti to disjoint everything.
And now Chrysalis is being run at by the Spectre again. Looks like he's okay.
Spectre recognizing she doesn't have any friends in that area and would be very dangerous for her to keep chasing. Even though the Drow kill is tempting, Spectre does not want to die because she has a kill streak. One of the 2 heroes with a kill streak you can see at the top left of the screen. Spectre and Shaker both doing well for themselves right now.
No one on this Earth Spirit. He's pretty farmed, given the way this game has been going. But it hasn't really felt like he's been able to do the job that you pick an Earth Spirit for. He wants to be rolling into the enemy ranks and finding this Rubik or the techies, getting on top of them and opening the eyes of the magnets to get a good RP. He's had that chance once, but I would love more opportunities here to do so.
Nice. He's doing his best, but I think he needs his next item quite badly. He's going for the Shivas, which will increase the damage in an AoE. Anyone that he applies the Shivas effect to, they will get slowed. We do see the Tormentor being taken very quickly by Radiant. Who did that go to? So we got it on Boxy. Nice. So now he can put his reactive taser that makes him disarm people that attack him. He can now put that on an ally instead, buffing them up, making them harder to focus. Very good to put on Spectre.
Oh, super good. And a shard for 9 class, so that's going to be the Cursed Crown upgrade, giving some brambles when that stun lands.
We got a question as well. Does Paravision have any chance? Oh, they definitely do. You shouldn't count them out, even though they're currently down and struggling a bit. They have fantastic high ground defense heroes. They have good spells to spam once Liquid try and break that high ground. And they can kidnap people out of position, which is always a great defensive tool. And Drow Ranger, even though she's behind right now, she's trying to itemize to counter the Spectre. Going for Silver's Edge as her item is gonna break the Spectre. And break removes the dispersion, which is the defensive tool of Spectre. So if you take that away, it makes her not too tanky to being focused. It also does remove Desolate, but you know, that's less relevant.
Yeah, and gives another escape mechanism to the Drow as well. Something that Paravision may struggle with for the remainder of this game and have been struggling with so far is Chrysalis getting gap closed and jumped by all these Liquid heroes. But just having, you know, an invis on top of your Hurricane Pike for displacement gets you a bit of distance away, maybe lets you reset, or at the very least lets your Earth Spirit and Magnus come in to swoop in and save the day.
Now with the Aegis in hand though, the Spectre is gonna feel confident.
Radiant's top tower.
Early first Roche, and then this is a normal type. Right now is when you would expect the first Roche to die. The fact this is now second Roche is a pretty big deal.
It just give them the banner already, so they have that. If they want a high ground push, you can throw down the banner, which makes the creeps not die. You have to kill the banner first before creeps die. So it's basically like Glyph, but continuously in an effect around the banner. So since the banner cannot be moved, you do usually place it on the ramp when you go high ground, and the enemy have to attack it to be able to kill the creeps.
Liquid with this Aegis probably looking at the tier 2s, the outer towers that are kind of down on the low ground outside of the Dire base. Key objectives for them to go and take and get a stranglehold on this map. It is kind of too early to go high ground and just finish things off unless you get some, you know, miraculous, spectacular team fight. This is primarily going to be about map control and, you know, hedging your bets as Team Liquid here.
Yep. And yeah, again, shout out to people in chat. You guys, we're here for you. So any question you have about this game right now, don't feel afraid or hesitate to ask. We will answer anything that's on your mind.
To the best of our abilities.
Yeah, exactly. We see Liquid right now try and make a move to take away the enemy Ancients. You gotta pick
9 class. Yeah, I guess his job there is to break smoke and show where Liquid are. Again, this kind of situation where Liquid are off the map. Paravision don't really see what's going on. Somebody has to get that information.
That's a classic tank the gank moment right there. Someone has to show, and it better be a support hero than a core. The moment they jump there, this allowed the cores to show and farm the side lanes. So Magnus pushed out top lane. Drow is now moving down towards bottom, and this is the effect when you're behind in Dota. You want to try and come back by avoiding your opponents and getting some farm wherever you can to get those key items. Drow is now 400 gold away from the Silver Edge, which will be really useful for her in the next fight.
I mean, it's so easy, right, in Dota to be behind and just go and hit jungle creeps. It's a very easy thing to do. But when you do that, especially like at this level of play, right, you go hit jungle creeps as these players, you suddenly just get absolutely strangled out of the map.
Yeah.
Because if you don't push these lanes, your jungle creeps are going to be taken over by the enemy too.
Yeah, you have to push lanes. It's essential. More so in professional Dota than perhaps in pub Dota. You know, this is something that we see being stressed a lot here, but at lower levels, a lot of times people can go jungle and farm, and you know, it's not as coordinated, so the push won't come as quickly. Generally, pro games get closed out much faster than pub games. And now we see Liquid finally going for that stranglehold you were talking about. They're looking at the final tower. But Paravision, they don't want to go out like this. They look like they might want to put up a defense. They have smoke. We're gonna see them smoke up right now.
This is the most high value area of the map for the Dire. 2 ancient camps, the tier 2 towers, a tormentor. There is a lot in this part of the map.
Spectre is alone right now. Everyone is super far away.
They see Mickey now. Bramble Maze is there. BKB from no one, and the break onto the Spectre puts her very low. But Paravision are afraid. They didn't kill the Spectre quick enough, and they know that she's got Aegis, so they back away.
They didn't see that nobody was nearby. We know it as casters, but they didn't see anyone on the map anywhere, so they're just saying, okay, we're going on a Spectre, but she has Aegis. How much can we commit? Afraid of the Shaker jump or the Beastmaster coming in, they did not full commit their resources. we can tell them that, you know, it would have worked. If they just all ended Drow, they could probably kill her twice before the team would be there. They were so far away. But players are not playing with that bird's eye vision, right? Can see everything.
Yeah, they've got fog of war. A lot of stuff they simply do not see. They lack critical information.
They really do, Gareth. So right now, lacking that information, they're gonna sit on high ground and try to defend. But this is what it feels like to not be allowed to go out and farm. All of them are in their base right now. And meanwhile, Radiants, they can farm, they can look for kills, and it's very tough for Paravision to know which one it is. They actually have zero vision on the map right now. Not a single ward planted anywhere. And on the opposite side, look at all those little green dots. Those green dots on the map. That's techie mines, and they act as that advanced alarm system, you know? This is
Motion sensors.
Motion sensors set up by techies. You
Mission Impossible lasers, you got to do a backflip over it, limbo under it.
Yeah, and it's really huge. It gives Liquid all the information for where their opponents are, or at least where they aren't, which is sufficient information.
A question from chat. In the matchup carry versus carry ultra late, does the Drow win out or is the Spectre supporting cast better? I guess there's a couple of ways we could take this question, right?
Yeah, definitely. But we see, this move. Sorry, I'm just distracted by the move coming out from Paravision. They're trying to find someone, but again, that mine telling him they're on
Misha knows. Misha knows, and he will slip away. Now the Spectres come in. They catch a glimpse of the No One Earth Spirit. They jump onto him with everybody and take him down. Paravision have tried to return fire here with an RP and a movement forward, but Chrysalis has to turn and run. He's invis Shadowbladed, trying to hide in the trees, but he's going to get scouted by mines and vision reveal. They see the Drow Ranger and they get 2 massive kills for the price of 1.
Can you explain to me, Gareth, why there's a banner at that camp right there?
Good question.
I'm also a newcomer to Dota. I do not know what this banner is meant to do right now. It's sort of not where you want to plant the banner. Don't do this, dear chat.
Who had it? Who misclicked?
I do not know. I don't want to name and shame anyway, but I think he just got it out of his inventory. It's like, this is in the way, put it down, bring some other useful item into the inventory.
So Insania now has a gem, and so does Mickey. So I assume that it was a place the banner, pick up the gem kind of deal.
Yeah, just, you know, get it out of inventory quickly. Yeah. Inventory management mid-fight can be pretty stressful.
Especially when gem can't go in your backpack.
Yeah. To go back to the question a little bit about the Spectre and the Drow, I would say that overall Spectre is favored going late game. She is so strong, and even if you get a lot of items on Drow, you will usually be jumped, and that makes it difficult for Drow. But it's not impossible. With the right amount of disables and potentially Drow getting to some ultra late game, you could stand your ground with the shards, Stanek, you know, these type of items. It's just a long way away for Spectre or for Drow right now. The lead that's building is becoming insurmountable. 14,000 lead on a Spectre team. That is usually very, very ominous for the opposing team.
Oh yeah, there's talk about the old Spectre ulti as well, and they did some changing around of the Spectre Aghanim Scepter and the Shadow Step upgrade. The Haunt now, much shorter cooldown, single target, and it lets Spectre do things like that.
Repeatedly. Anytime someone steps out, I mean, 9 class just stepped out before, and 60 seconds later, or 40 seconds later, Mickey steps out. He's just punishing them off cooldown. Spectre is one of the best heroes in the game to play with vision. If she just sees her opponents, she hops in. She's itemized in a way that she has Orchid, so she can silence her opponents, and then pops Manta style to very rapidly do a ton of damage to them.
Dire's top tower.
And it's kind of what Liquid's identity this tournament has been anyway. Of exploiting some of these broken Dota mechanics. Global teleports with vision, Nature's Prophet, Spectre being able to play wide across the map and be very efficient. The Templar Assassin and the Oracle giving that additional bit of information about Roshan and rune spawning. Dying with the respawn, the instant respawn, the second
alarm system, the safety net.
All these kind of little gimmicks, but they're not, you know, just gimmicks for gimmick's sake, right? These are gimmicks that have been put into a draft with real purpose and meaning.
Exactly. They're utilizing it in the best way possible. They also have locked up the enemy ancient camp with a sentry. Very toxic behavior coming out from Boxy here, making sure the opponent's not able to farm as easily, preventing some of the farming.
Does Roshan's banner break trees?
Not
when you place it.
No.
Okay. of people in chat
I
asking
think
if
there's no purpose for it. I think it was a little oopsie doopsie, so that's why I laughed about it a bit. To my knowledge, there's no useful purpose for that plant they did there. At best, the best I can muster is that he put it down to quickly clear his inventory. Otherwise, you have to move your mouse to inventory, drag the item out of there.
Look at Insania! Another one! Just blink RP, the stolen spells, doesn't get them to kill. That's annoying. No one gets out of there unless Mickey goes back in one more time with a dagger, jumping to all these illusions, back and forth, back to the river, over here. Look at me, look at him, look at you.
Yeah, he had the haunt as well there, the Aghanim Scepter haunt that haunts everybody, so a little bit confusing what was going on there. And playing against the Spectre player can definitely be disorienting at some point. Which one is real and where is she? Didn't get to kill those, so the fact that haunt is on cooldown, maybe a little bit of a window here for Paravision. But again, gotta try and sneak out. He has the safety of those mines, but they have not stepped on one yet. I wonder how far can they get before the mines reveal them. There we go, boom, boom. And I think the pings are gonna come out. Ping, ping from Techies. He says they're right here, guys, in smoke. That is so frustrating to play against. Paravision, you already know that the opponent knows, and then it's like, do we continue? Is it even good? Techies just hops through the gate. He says, I'll see you on the other side. He knows
Super irritating.
in just a few seconds, that's gonna be, top Roche instead. Controlling the bottom part of the map is not so important right now, as we're in the 35-minute mark. Nighttime, Roche is going to be top. Daytime, it's going to be bottom.
Yeah. Carlos getting a bit anxious from his facial expressions, wanting to get something done, but so far just rebuffed and held back by Liquid.
Question for TA, can't put a trap in the Roche pit anymore. She can put traps there, they just don't give vision. However, TA has the definitive spawn time shown to her when she plays, which makes it so you don't really need to have vision on a trap in the Roche pit. Only time that was useful was when the enemy were taking it, but it's a good trade-off, I think, being able to see it now. Spawn time, that is. And of course, this is Roshan number 3. So Gareth, this means that on the third Roche, they will get an Aghanim Scepter. This Aghanim Scepter, you can consume it for free on any of your heroes.
Dire third Roche, give the angst. Who wants this? Because Spectre already bought one.
Probably Beastmaster, right? Or maybe you give it to Rubik. I don't know. Beastmaster's probably best though. He's walking away a bit, but we'll see who grabs what. Yeah, it's gonna go to him. Sableye takes it. That's gonna give him the Drums of Slom, a new ability that makes him do AoE damage around him based on how much he has auto-attacked recently. So every time he attacks, he'll build up faster and faster drums. And those drums also heal him for the damage they deal. A percentage of the damage.
Yeah, and we've kind of talked about Dota being this, ebb and flow, back and forth, call and response, expectations game where these players have played so much and understand so much of the game that you kind of get used to a certain feel, a vibe of the game. The fact that this Roshan, the first one, died so fast, gave us a quick second and a fast third one, you're not often ready or kind of understanding the situation you're in when the enemy suddenly get the free Aghanim Scepter at minute 37.
No,
this is usually something that happens, past 40 minutes, 45 plus.
Exactly. That's also why we see such a huge jump in the net worth lead now, 26,000, because the consumed Aghanims counts as a full consumed Aghanims would, and that's worth 5,800 gold. So we see a bit of a spike there. Already a massive lead, but it's building to be even more. And again, Paravision, they feel like they're just waiting for that high ground defense, but this is Grand Finals, and Team Liquid, they're saying, we don't need to go high ground. We'll just keep building our lead, use the entire map. And as dull as it may seem, this is the correct move from Liquid. They have no stress. Going late game, they have the Spectre, they have fantastic heroes. They can wait for the 25-minute timings, get all the Nutra items. And meanwhile, they know that Paravision are hardly farming anything right now, as all of them are stuck in base. And Paravision, sadly, they also know it from their perspective. They realize this is not a winning position. They have to get creative, have to get out on the map. And again, these mines, dude, they're gonna walk into more of them. It's always waiting for them.
Yeah. Okay. Get a bit of vision here on the Magnus. Nisha's got the chain stuns, finding DM. And Magnus is now dead for 60 seconds.
Oh god,
a little bit of vision.
Spectre. Spectre haunting all over the place.
And Now a situation where, like, okay, previously Liquid, no need to rush up high ground into defender's advantage where Paravision could buy back or hold their base, throw spells at you. Now Liquid have the numbers advantage.
Numbers advantage, and the banner is placed, so you see the creeps are taking no damage even though the tower is shooting them. So you have to break the banner or the creeps will keep pushing.
I guess most importantly, the best base defense hero Paravision have is the Magnus. His RP and skewer back is meant to be the way to deal with these Liquid heroes, but instead they're trying to play without him. Magnus still dead, and Liquid just turn and blow up the Drow Ranger. Now they're going to crack the base wide open. All they had to spend here really was the Spectre Aegis, as Mickey can stand his ground and still dish out the damage onto this Earth Spirit. They force Paravision basically back into that fountain, and they might be forcing them to call the end of the game soon. This barracks is going to fall, and Liquid could potentially just swing into mid and find more.
I doubt that they're going to back out entirely without the Drow and the Earth Spirit alive. I mean, Earth Spirit does have buyback, so he can rejoin, and Magnus is finally here. But losing your entire top lane and losing a team fight without the Magnus doesn't feel good at all for Paravision.
Yeah, and right now it's kind of, you know, an information game, right? You don't know if Earth Spirit or Drow Ranger have buyback, but you have to assume they do. So Liquid are kind of playing tentatively. They're not full-on bull rushing into this tier 3 tower to kill it. They're kind of poking back and forth, seeing what the reaction is, figuring out, yeah, DM is going to try and make a play like that when he whiffs his BKB skewer. So now another tool used by Paravision that doesn't get them any gain. And Drow, Earth Spirit didn't buy back yet. So Liquid kind of using that info now to think, okay, well, if Drow Ranger hasn't, she's not gonna. We can finish off some more buildings, force DM to keep poking at us with his skew on RP play. DM just gets turned on. Mass buyback. Basically annihilated by the Spectre, who's beyond godlike as a double kill. Paravision will try and come in to defend them, but these barracks falling. Spectre does die. They broke Mickey and took him down. The Drow Ranger had enough damage. Barely Paravision scraped away with a victory on their doorstep, defending the remnants of their base.
Okay, they finally do hold. They used a lot of buybacks, but look at the amount of gold they got for every kill. 3,000 gold for the Spectre kill. Absurd. 2,400 gold almost for the Shaker kill. And also 2,000 gold for the Beastmaster kill. All cores dead on the side of Team Liquid. Huge swing back now for Paravision. They actually don't have buyback on Shaker or Beast, so it is a chance to step out on the map for the first time in like 20 minutes, Gareth. They've been sitting, stuck in their base. Now they have a chance to move out.
Into mines.
Yeah, into mines, but this is a good time to step on mines when Spectre is actually dead.
True that.
And they even held the mid barracks, so that was a phenomenal hold into what was a severe disadvantage. They were so far behind. It did spend buybacks though, so as we pointed out before, using buybacks does mean that the pickoffs now, if you get a kill on the Earth Spirit or kill onto even the supports, that will be a window for Team Liquid to end the game.
Right, that's the big thing, right? You're buying back for an immediate, you know, small to mid-term victory now, but you do have this deficit which you're going to face for the next 6 minutes, where if either of those or any of those 3 heroes die, there's a potential that Liquid steamroll over you. And with Liquid all respawning now in 15 seconds and all their green lights lit up, they've got every ultimate ability ready for themselves. They don't have the Aegis though, which is definitely something the Spectre will have to consider heading into the next team fight. But at this point, Liquid can just think about pushing out, you know, 2 of the 3 lanes, getting back into position. And as the Radiant side, they naturally want to migrate to that Dire Ancients area where the Tormentor is. And that's a good place to play into 2 sets of racks, which they can still take.
Exactly, they definitely want that. Now, they are smoked up and making that move. At the same time, Paravision, they have picked up a Lincoln Sphere on this Drow Ranger, so Spectre can't jump her unless someone else triggers the Lincoln Sphere first. It's a very good way for her to try and protect. Unless she uses the Aghanim's Haunt, of course. This was mostly a scouting ulti. Gotta find someone isolated.
Yeah, oh, they're all in their base. But that was potential for, you know, if someone's out of the base, the Rubik and the Earthshaker were both in positions on opposite sides of the map.
I actually think that cost them quite a bit though, Team Liquid. Using a scouting haunt, it may seem like, oh, it's great to find out where your opponents are, but it's 2 minutes and 40 seconds cooldown on that thing. So you gotta wait for a long time now before you have that available.
The chance now for Paravision to, again, come out of their shell, stop turtling. Oh, we don't often use that term anymore, turtling, when you sit in your base. Turtle don't you just keep defending and defending until you finally have a chance to break out of your shell and do something. Yeah. Paravision non-turtling through choice, but forced to do it by Liquid.
And back in good old Dota 1 days, it would be the term we used, but the Elder Tiger walks too close, gets caught out.
Sniped out without buyback. So there's the situation.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't have buyback and the enemy team doesn't know because you're just missing the gold, but they know he doesn't have buyback because he used it in the previous engagement. So it's on cooldown for 4.5 more minutes, and pro players will track this without fail that buyback was used.
Nisha from this high ground is the two-man Fisher, and Mickey's on top of Chrysalis as the Earthship is going to survive, and the Drow Ranger trying to slip away from the Spectre is having difficulties, can't break free. Paravision lose their Drow. Magnus now in trouble as well. Can't even RP anybody. Difficult fight for Paravision to enter and exit, and it looks like Liquid might just have this game in the bag now. Another jump from Mickey Spectre onto the Dark Willow gets him a double kill. And it's time for Liquid to clear up this dire base.
The Earth Spirit to go in bait for the Magnus to pull them back into base. That's the only play.
They've got a Yord on his Rubik to send himself skywards, defend himself against the Earth Spirit, and they've got a full staff to drift the Spectre away from the RP. DM throws his spells, but getting outplayed by Liquid.
Yeah, that was RP spent, so Rubik now having it as well, ready to go. He's looking for a chance to catch people. Drow dead for 50 seconds. The push is gonna continue.
Turtling is better than ratting. Oh, is Manta RP dodge possible?
It is. You can Manta dodge most things. You can even Manta dodge a friendly smoke. If you want to smoke up and you Manta at the wrong time, you don't get it. I've seen RTC Manta dodge, you know, even land placements, you know, he can dodge out of anything. But yeah, Manta basically removes you from the game for a very tiny fraction of a second when you use it. So you can dodge AoE abilities with it. Unless they're lingering effects that stay on the ground.
How many spells do that, right? Phase Shift, Manta Style.
Running with the pack.
Yeah.
Does Astral Imprisonment still do that?
Remove you, so yeah, I mean, I would say so. Imprisonment or disruption, like these type of things definitely count, I would say.
Off the map. No way.
But
a gem for Saberlight gets rid of some of this dire vision, so now it's even harder for Paravision to have an inkling of where they need to be.
Yeah. Big thing to mention about Spectre, by the way, is that she has that Bloodthorn. So when she goes on someone and Bloodthorns them, she can jump up very quickly before the target is dead. And Bloodthorn will, towards the end of the silence duration, deal 60% of all the damage they took as additional damage. So if you bring them down to like 30% HP, the job is already done. You can just leave. As long as they don't have a way to get healed up or save themselves, they're gonna die to the Soul Rend.
I love this. Can you buy Dagon to counter Solo Haunt? So I guess the Shadow Step?
You definitely can. The illusion does die to instant Dagon, so that's one way to do it. I've not seen it too many times, but you know.
I DM a couple of groups for D&D, and one of the phrases that I've loved learning from other, you know, big DMs is "you can try." You know, yes, you can. You absolutely can. It's possible. You're allowed to. Will it work?
Dota similar to some D&D session where you can try most things. You know, oh, I have an idea. I want to do it. And it's like, sure, go ahead. The problem is that when Spectre jumps you, she's gonna haunt, create the illusion, and immediately try to jump towards it. So you may just end up Dagoning the real Spectre unless you have inhuman reflexes. Which leads to a next point, which a lot of pro players will spam abilities on the ground next to them, even before anyone is there, anticipating that someone will jump in next to them. That's called pre-clicking.
Plus, quick casting as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, with quick cast, that means that you don't have to actually left click after you cast a spell. You can just spam the spell and it will cast where your mouse is. So that way you can really spam something on the ground. And
so wherever your cursor is hovering, you get to cast a spell.
Yeah, I do recommend any new players to get used to quick cast. It is overall hard to argue against using quick cast. I use a setup where I use both quick cast and normal cast with an alt modifier. So if I want to normal cast a spell, I hold alt. And if I want a quick cast, I just press the spell regularly. That's very nice.
So for instance, in this game, Rubik with quick cast, much faster at using that telekinesis. Like it really immediate. If he has a general idea of where someone will be that he wants to cast it on, he'll just be spamming that button without needing to use his mouse to kind of click afterwards. It just removes an action, removes, you know, half a second even in games like this is a big difference maker.
Yeah, possibly. The little techie landmine is gonna, or proximity mine is gonna reveal the double damage rune for Shaker. He now has tons of damage. Of course, Shaker in a single hit can do 1300 damage without activating the DD rune. Do upwards of 1500 with one hit. Crazy how hard this hero can hit.
Liquid looking for this killer move now. They've smoked up, and as is often the case when you're playing with a Spectre on your team, 4 members move to one side of the map, and the Spectre plays the other side, so Spectre can haunt in.
See the ward being placed. Dire know that they must have smoked in there because their sentry reveals the ward.
No one, he rolls on his Rubik. He's got a Wind Waker though, so he disengages, cyclones himself over the high ground, away from the Earth Spirit, who gets turned on by the Spectre. Liquid have come in and killed off the mid laner of Paravision, who has to buy back. Drow Ranger has also died to Nisha, who made a jump deeper in the fight.
Dire's
Fantastic
Drow doesn't have buyback.
No Drow buyback. This is again a huge moment for him to just regroup on the center of Liquid and go. Without your carry, this is a tough defense to muster up. We need some magic from the Magnus here.
It's got to be down to this Magnus. If he can get some big skewers back and RP onto a number of heroes, go on to Spectre as the primary target, but Mickey very swiftly turns on him, munches on the Magnus, forces the BKB, while Paravision tries to backstab, sending no one deep in behind enemy lines. But he also gets turned on. He turns himself into a stone statue and tries to kill off Mickey, but even that was a step too far. Mickey, even his first life, only just now being claimed, while Rubik surviving again with this Wind Waker.
No mid laner, no carry, and I think no chance. 55,000 lead, mega creeps achieved, everything going Liquid's way, and they're gonna close up the game here.
And this Wind Waker item's been pretty cool from the Rubik.
Yeah, great pickup in this game. Very good defensive. It allows you to use your teammates as well, so you can lift them up for safety, or just move around yourself in the Yule Scepter.
Usually a Yule Scepter keeps you in place, makes things awkward. That Wind Waker gives you that additional movement to kind of fly over terrain and high ground as well. And there is good game call. Paravision tap out of game 1 as Liquid end with a 60,000 net worth lead. It took them 50 minutes to close this one out, but it felt like it was over much earlier. And just Paravision, you know, in a grand final, you hold on for dear hope and you try until the bitter end.
Yeah, and we see Liquid, they are not here to mess around. They play this game very disciplined, slow, and methodical. So they look like a team that really wants to win. They don't care if people think it's exciting that they control the map for 30 minutes. It's up to Paravision to make a play about it. They were in a winning position and they used it to their advantage. So Liquid, while they played a little bit slow Dota here, despite having an advantage very early on, that's just respecting the high ground defense of Paravision. That's what we want to see. That's how winners play. Generally just, you know, playing with confidence that we will win late game. Don't need to throw this on high ground and just lose. We've seen teams go out in this tournament, Gareth, on mistakes like that.
А потом уже не важно. Да, просто я как человек не пьющий следил за всем этим, да, и, ну, людям хорошо становилось там буквально уже с обеда.
Если такой, я буду врачом после этого, да?
Ну, нет, это было еще до этого, но это в том числе тоже было, да.
Опять же, у меня такой вопросик относительно подарков на Новый год.
Mickey really stepped up. Applied for sick leave to watch Dota. I've heard a couple of stories about that. Just take a day off work and come and watch Dota and a LAN. in Southeast Asia. I mean, very often the vibes are immaculate. Yeah, getting ourselves into game 2 now. You mentioned Liquid did it in quite some fashion in game 1. It wasn't quick. It wasn't, super speedy annihilation of their opponents. It was this, slow, systematic, knowing that victory is imminent and making sure that Paravision didn't have any chances to come back, really.
Yeah, they executed very well, and a lot of Dota can come down to that, understanding how a draft is going to play out and who's going to be ahead going mid or late game. Because sometimes you can even say like, oh, on paper, a draft is stronger late game, but if you're not allowed to farm and use the entire map, then you might not be stronger late game either. But in last game, I think Liquid had the better late game draft and they were farming the entire map, so it was just a perfect combination for them. They really enjoyed everything that was happening that game.
Yeah, and potential here for Liquid to kind of break a bit of a curse. Against Paravision so far this year, they've lost 3 best-of-3 series to them, and they've drawn a best-of-2, winning only one, really only winning 1 series over Parry this year. So something that Liquid could kind of think about, having a chip on their shoulder and getting some revenge.
We'll see how they do. Obviously they're 1 game up already, but Paravision have looked fantastic this tournament, so I don't think they're too faced by losing a single game. They're here for the long haul. This is a best of 5, so you have plenty of time to come up with different strategies and approaches as well. Banning up the Jakiro in the first phase. A little bit unusual, and that does leave the Monkey King. So Monkey gets picked immediately after banning the Beastmaster. This had to have been foreseen by Paravision. If you don't ban Monkey against Team Liquid, they are gonna first pick it.
Yeah, Jakiro was banned second phase by Paravision in the previous game. We had Phoenix, Dawnbreaker, Templar Assassin, Primal Beast, Jakiro, then Puck and Prophet. While Chen, DK, Dragonite, Alchemist, Monkey King were banned by Team Liquid.
Insania doing a cosplay here for us. This reminds me of one of his teammates.
Team Liquid's turn.
Boxy and Insania, both hiding from the lights a little bit. So yeah, Team Liquid get themselves the Monkey King, Paravision answering with a Gyrocopter right now.
Yeah. Gyrocopter, a very strong hero in his own right, a very nice late game hero who also brings a bit of team fight control for your draft. So it can be nice to have. Pick up the heroes here in the demo mode and we can have a little look at it, because we haven't gone to see too much of Monkey King. He has not been let through a lot of the bans. He has been banned in every game, I think, today, outside of today, outside of this game. So Monkey is able to jump onto trees, and that allows him to very quickly traverse the map. As we see the Monkey King, okay, I put him on the enemy team, so it's kind of hard to see him on the trees, but he can jump from tree to tree. Which is very, very powerful. He can also jump down from a tree onto his enemies and immediately attack them. And important on Monkey is he gets this little yellow number above the enemy heroes when he attacks them. If that goes to 4, then he gets a buff that gives him big lifesteal and huge damage increase. And then he can use that with his first ability, the Boundless Strike, to do that damage in an AoE.
Yeah.
So,
I guess just in general, I think worth pointing out is every Dota hero has some kind of synergy between its own spells. Right, so Monkey King has this passive which buffs up his damage, which can then be used in conjunction with his first spell, which is his big stick, which he uses to hit people. Then Gyrocopter has a little homing missile which chases people, which stuns them, which sets up for some of his other spells which do damage.
Yep. And the other spells, you got the Rocket Barrage that can deal a lot of damage to nearby enemies. It will split on nearby enemies, so if someone is isolated, it does a lot of damage to them directly. But if there are multiple targets in the game, show that as soon as we get multiple heroes picked as well, Gyrocopter can attack everything at the same time using his flat cannon, which is extremely good for targeting the entire team at once. And his ulti is also fantastic for AoE damage, calling down rockets in succession that slow and damage the opponent.
Well, some targeted bans in the second ban phase. Enigma, something that DM has used very successfully, as we see him on screen there. That's one of his best offlane heroes, which gets targeted by Liquid and removed. The Batrider, also very good in the hands of 9 class, gives a lot of strength to the offlane.
I mean, this is Liquid picking heroes or banning heroes that are good against Monkey King. So Batrider and Enigma are tough to deal with. Both of them can cut trees, and they lane very strongly against Monkey. And I'm concerned already for Paravision, the fact that they did not target Mickey more. I said that was how I would have approached the next game, but they let through his favorite hero, I would say, the Monkey King.
5 seconds
And
remaining.
now they have to be very cautious about what they bring to the table.
Team
The
Liquid's
Clockwork,
turn to
common
pick.
combo with the Gyrocopter. Clockwork can trap people inside the cogs that burn mana and push people back. And then you can use that to kind of pinball his enemies around. The cogs can be destroyed, but it requires some auto-attacking.
Yeah, the main combo for Clockwork is to start a
10
fight, right? A
seconds
support
remaining.
hero who puts his body on the line. So he hooks, launches himself into a target,
5 seconds
traps them in a
remaining.
cage, and that's where the Gyrocopter can come in and do a bit of damage over the top.
Yeah, exactly.
Radiant team pick.
Clockwork
also-
is a nice frontline support who can, as you mentioned, initiate from very, very far away. The hook shot is a long range stun and almost instantaneous.
And it's both in lane and then in the game in general as well, right? Having Clockwork and Gyro potentially together as
10
a safe lane
seconds
duo.
remaining.
Clockwork is very good at bodyguarding, saving the Gyrocopter, making
5
sure that they're then
seconds remaining.
even able to turn around or do some damage back.
And we have
Radiant
some
team
extra supports coming in for Team Liquid. Unsurprisingly, we get
Oh.
to see heroes that they are excellent at playing. The Oracle comes back and the Dark Willow for some AoE control.
So yeah, when Clockwork hookshots in, very often we have this, dogpile mentality. They've stunned a core. We want to get on top of them,
10
do the damage.
seconds remaining.
The Dark Willow, we've seen, very good at these crowd control AoE disables.
5 seconds
Make sure that
remaining.
if someone is being caught and stunned, that the enemy team is kind of pushed back, or they've got to think twice about how they continue the fight.
Yeah, and we have, of course, the Oracle coming in, who we have been mentioning before is a fantastic saving hero, can prevent all the damage from an enemy team, and then doubling his healing as well. So
And that includes the lifesteal that he gets from his Jingu and the Boundless Strike.
exactly. So if Monkey has triggered his Jingu and then gets an attack out in the form of Oracle ulti, that will make him lifesteal an absurd amount of HP in one go at the end. But yeah, Invoker getting picked. This is probably one of the least beginner-friendly
Liquid's
heroes you
turn
can find in Dota. Invoker has a number of spells he can cast. He has 3 different orbs that he can mix and match into casting different abilities. He can bring forth tons of damage outputs by stuff like throwing out a meteor, calling down the sunstrike, but he also brings a lot of AoE
10
control.
seconds
We
remaining.
often see more control build invokers being popular right now with stuff like
5
the EMP,
seconds
the
remaining.
tornado, the ice wall. Having all these different abilities is really strong, but he does have some cooldown on invoking between them, so he can't really cast all spells at once. He does need to cycle through them.
Yeah, and definitely not beginner friendly, because you may as well replace your mouse and keyboard with a Rubik's Cube, the way you've got to try and invoke some of these spells and incantations from the Invoker.
Very true. A big thing, though, that they have in their draft already is Alacrity, a spell the Invoker has that gives attack speed and bonus damage. Putting that on the Gyrocopter, then activating Flak Cannon so you attack everybody at once, can dish out some serious damage in an AoE, and will definitely be something that they will be playing around in this game.
And Invoker, one of those very popular heroes this patch as well, because he's just so good in lane. Doesn't seem like he's got any
Team
real lane
Liquid's
counters
turn
or
to
matchups that he suffers against. Just got to make sure that he's able to get out of the lane and do stuff. It looks like Liquid are going to put the Earth Spirit against him in that mid lane.
Yeah, we have again the Lycan coming in. We saw this before, picked up against the Oracle, as it matches up very well against him. Being able to run him down and sending
10
wolves on him
seconds remaining.
can make his job a little bit harder. It is a
5
hero that
seconds
we've
remaining.
seen them successful with before on the side of Paravision. As you mentioned, the Earth Spirit will load him in. We already have seen what that hero can do in the previous game, but again, brings a lot of ganking and tempo to their lineup.
Yeah, more catch, so now you can play with the Lycan, play with the Clockwork, on top of people very quickly,
Radiant team back.
Or
allow
against
that
them.
Invoker to do the damage. Because Invoker also has some global potential with that Sunstrike.
Exactly. There's a nice combo in having Clockwork and Invoker. So if you see any hero out of position, you
Team
can just
Liquid's
hookshot in on
turn
them,
to ban.
catch them in the cogs, and then Invoker globally can throw in a Sunstrike into the cogs, which usually is pretty easy to land because the enemy will not be getting out of the cogs that easily. This is a fantastic way to kind of build your setup.
We've seen this Lycan have some mixed success. You
10
said he's pretty
seconds
good against
remaining.
these supports who are backline and play from the fog, like the Dark Willow and the Oracle.
5 seconds
The Wolves
remaining.
scout, they give vision, Lycan hunts for them. But Lycan has also kind of had struggles
Team Liquid's
making a
turn
transition
to
out of lane and into mid to late game. He can scale, but he has this weird period of time where You talked about, right, this Helm of the Overlord being like 15 minutes in, but then getting weaker, and then him needing to find a new item that makes him strong again.
Definitely. And also I'm a little bit concerned about the offlane Lycan and how well he will do against the Monkey King, because you are a melee hero against Monkey, and Monkey does punish melee heroes very well. Being able to build up Jingu stacks and then lifesteal off them. So it can be hard to prevent Monkey from getting to hit you, but that's where he's going to have good micro on his wolves, using those to harass the Monkey in the laning stage and kind of prevent that.
One of my favorite things about Dota, the circles.
Yeah.
This is a newcomer stream, right? One of the easiest things to learn about Dota is to pick heroes with AoE abilities, big circle abilities. So Liquid right now have Monkey with his Wukong's command, and Mars with the Arena, comboed up with this Dark Willow who has that Terrorize which pushes people around, and all of a sudden you have some incredible Venn diagrams on your screen.
Yeah, this is stuff that can happen in the game if you are not careful with your positioning. You can get caught by the Mars Arena into a Terrorize, into Wukong's, and that is a horrible spot to be in. That would be definitely devastating. So you gotta be careful. BKB can be a big item to try and walk out of the Mars Arena, or even walk in sometimes to help your team. If you're stuck on the outside, you cannot get into the arena. We talk about how people can't leave. You actually can't walk in willingly either, unless you have a way to jump in there, or with BKB active, you can walk through it.
Like, there's something we've maybe not mentioned here is that Gyrocopter has been played as both a core and a support, and there was technically some flexibility towards the end of Paravision's draft. They decide that Gyro will stay as that position 1 carry hero, and they grab Nyx Assassin as their second support. So this can kind of weaken Lycan's lane even further, can't it?
It really can. I'm a little bit concerned about the Nyx pick coming up. Obviously, yes, it does work well with the Invoker to get some global ganks. Again, you have an invisible hero, you can go around, stun people, call in that Sunstrike, and get tons of damage dealt. But Nyx laning stage is quite weak and vulnerable. You now have most likely a double melee offlane. There's no real way around that. So this is going to be concerning for me, how the Lycan's early game will be. I think we should focus on that, see how they get into this game.
Game 2 coming up shortly. Looks like no one wants the lights turned off. They're pointing into his eyes.
He's like, please, I can't see. I mean, it's true. It's also why we see players, playing with the hood up like that. It's, when you're on stage, there's a lot of lights going on. Even if they're not pointing directly at you, it can be a bit difficult to play with if you're not used to it.
Na'Vi, no. Spirit, no. Harry in the final.
Nice, I like these. Guys, always funny.
Of course, people wanting a game 5 as well. That'll be great for a Thai crowd. ESL and Bangkok. We'll head ourselves into game 2, though. Liquid already won game to the good in this best of 5, and a race towards 3 wins, right? You don't always have the guaranteed 5 games. It's whoever gets to 3 wins first wins the series. Yeah. So there's the potential we're here for another, 4 hours or so, but also could be an hour and a half or 2.
And if you're new to Dota and, you have to take a little leave, you have to go and, walk the dog or something and come back and wonder what the score is, you can always look here at the top of the screen. You can see the one little yellow check mark on the side of Liquid. They earned that win in the first round. So we're in game number 2 in this best of 5. 2 more wins needed for Team Liquid. Paravision still need all those 3. But I really like the way we've had it set. I believe, was it Seb who, No-Tail, I think? Yeah, No-Tail used to say, no matter what, you're going to need to win 3 games. It doesn't matter if you lose the first game. It doesn't matter if you lose the second game. It's still 3 wins needed. So, yeah, you got to have a clear mentality on that.
And this first blood attempt could be huge for Paravision to get that early advantage they need, but Saberlight has backup behind him. Oh, that stun was great from 9 class, but Liquid are coming to clean up. Mickey still in trouble to this barrage of Crystallis' Gyrocopter, while Boxy, with that final hit, takes down Crystallis to get a triple kill on the Dark Willow.
He got every single kill on the Dark Willow. And he got a D-Ward. He got 700 gold on top of his starting items.
Incredible start. I mean, 3-2. First blood did go to DM, so a bit of extra cash there for DM's Lycan. Look at this, Boxy lighting up the board on the left-hand side.
Yeah, he's topping up the net worth right now. Number 1. That's rare for a support to be in that spot. But the first spot on DM, I think that's huge. Allowing him to get a little bit faster towards that helm. I said that his start is going to be super important, and you could not choose a better hero to get the first blood on for Paravision.
super vital for him to get to their helm quick, especially with a Nyx assassin who doesn't offer much in the way of lane supporting. He's going to be dragging waves around with the boots he's picked up to give that extra movement speed. He'll try and do shenanigans, right? That's what we like to call it. Lane manipulation, creep wave, equilibrium shifting. He'll go and drag enemy creep waves, try and kill some jungle creeps, and do all the little busy business he can.
Yeah, the way we like to describe it is that honestly laning against Monkey King in a fair way is very, very difficult. So we already see him here on the second creep wave, holding the creeps. So they're going to follow him. But now we see Insania already knowing this is happening. He's coming in here with a little bit of root. And Insania has boots, so he can chase him down and auto attack a lot. This Oracle is pretty fast.
There's a lot of damage coming the way of 9 class, even though he drops the talentless line in the old chat.
Yeah, it's difficult to prevent this. You can't really stop the pull from happening, but the best you can do is deal a ton of damage. So Insania is bothering them by constant auto attacks. Not that Oracle is known for his strong auto attacks, but even getting a cheeky deny on the tower. Misplay after misplay after misplay after misplay.
Not often you can do that. Getting up in the face and denying like that. Good spot for Insania. And this gives Monkey King now the freedom to continue farming. So 5 and 3 for Mickey's Monkey. While we take a peek at this mid lane, Earth Spirit for Nisha 4 and 4. No one's Invoker 5 and 2. But this is a kind of lane as Nisha rolls deep on the tower, kicks no one back. It could have maybe been a kill if he'd landed that roll, but it was a optimistic one.
Yeah, that was a nice try. Still worth getting some damage and harassment onto the Invoker. It's going to keep him low HP so that you can go under tower and play aggressively.
Yeah, but that mid lane very often gets more difficult when Invoker is level 4 and level 5 with the double Wraith bands he likes to pick up, and he becomes obnoxiously good at hitting creeps and harassing at the same time.
Definitely. So far Nisha doing very well for himself. We can have a little look at the bottom lane as well, as there's a lot of scrappy engagements going on. Trading hits back and forth. Overall, the Gyrocopter 6 and 0, so not doing too well in last hits, whereas the 12 and 0 Mars, Saberlight, he's just been looking so good this tournament. Can we just appreciate like Saberlight's impact? He wants to make a solid statement this tournament that, you know, winning a grand final in Team Liquid to kind of earn his place, so to say. But I think he already earned it. He's playing so well.
Sure, and it also feels like a different playstyle to like all the other offlanes we're seeing, right? There's like greedy Lycan, these greedy offlanes, Magnus, farming, getting big items. Saberlight so far has been playing the old school initiator offlaner, the Mars, even the Undying. He's just been blinking in and dying.
Yeah, that's very true, because he did take over after 33, who played a lot more around the summon meta and a little bit greedier, you could say, in some regards. Usually winning games with big items and itemization, very smart itemization, I should say, on those heroes. But Saberlight has been that initiator, like you said, and it's really refreshing to watch.
And how much of this bottom lane comes down to Boxy getting 3 kills, though?
Probably
Because we don't expect Mars to be doubling up the CS of the Gyro, right?
No, not quite. But I would say that the Willow does win pretty hard in the support battle. So ultimately, I do think I favor Liquid's 2 heroes a little bit. And the early kills on Boxy helped him to get even more confident, having the Magic Stick and Bracer.
Yeah, super tanky. Not bothered about the clockwork
The
anymore.
Willow Courier, Miss Mike.
He's got to be worried about that, yeah. The little spider just walks right past them. And now Saberlight inside the cogs, turning and dealing with the clockwork. The spear, kind of helped out by the fact Jakara's put the cogs down there and gets Boxy another kill, dominating at minute 4.
And he's just slapping into the Gyro. He's saying, you don't farm here. I bully you out of the lane. Set up a Magic Stick and a healing Lotus on the Willow. So even though he's kind of low HP, that's just deception. The Gyro knows he can't fight her.
Yeah, while this is happening, we did have 9 class die up at top. The Monkey King came back and swiped on the Nyx. And the Wolves now trying to take the Nyx's job, pulling the creep wave, but unsuccessful for now.
Yeah, and 9 class being chased by Insania, a lot on him. Because that means that even if 9 class does kill some creeps in the jungle using the Mind Flare, which one-shots creeps, Insania will be there to share experience. Something we haven't touched on, but if you kill neutral creeps and the enemy is nearby, that experience gets shared between you and the enemy. So yeah, it slows down Nyx's leveling, and Nyx wants to get that level 6 as soon as possible.
And we've got to say, nice stun by knowing that the Monkey King is coming. Not going to help him too much. He's still going to die, but he gets to take an extra neutral creep with him. Yeah. Kind of uncommon are the boots at level 1, right? Both Nyx and Oracle have gone for them. Maybe comics, but not common for the Oracle. This is Insania adapting.
Yep, Insania understood how the lane was gonna, like a true oracle. He foresaw all this. He bought an item that allowed him to chase after the Nyx. So smart. A lot of players would have gone for standard items, just get a lot of regen, get blood grenade, maybe a magic stick, but that wouldn't have this playstyle. So good acting by him.
Yeah, and Oracle, of course, where the rune's going to be spawning, should be giving the shout in terms of who. Clockwork has to do it the old-fashioned way. Moves out of the bottom lane. Help! It looks like they're going to be guarding top rune.
It looks like it might be bottom rune though. Nisha just recognized kind fight into two, but no, it's bottom rune. So Nisha, playing where the rune is from the Oracle, needs to not move too early to a rune, because that kind of tells the enemy team that, hold up, he has the information, he's heading bottom, that means we should go bottom. And you can go into mind games of this, where you think that he knows.
Another rarity here, with the Liquid having such a good start, with Monkey King having a great lane, they're using the first catapult wave to kill the enemy off-lane tower. This very rarely happens unless you're having an exceptional time early on.
It is fantastic. They kept the catapult alive, doubling the creep wave, and this is textbook stuff from them. They're getting the best start possible on Mickey, and Mickey has been looking so reliable throughout the tournament. Now the Wisdom rune is compromised. The fact that the tier 1 tower is gone, Liquid are playing with both their supports to invade the enemy Wisdom rune.
And these Wisdom runes are super important to try and get your supports to level 6.
Oh no, Saberlight might also spear away Ducalis. Can Ducalis take it?
Always trying with the cogs there. Spear, he's got it. He's got the Wisdom rune. Still gonna die for this though. So the Wisdom runes go 1 for 1, but a freebie kill there for Insania.
Slightly late by Saberlight, but you know, they do get the kill at least. If he speared just slightly earlier, they might have gone both the runes, but that keeps Clockwork happy, you know, got something before he died.
Yeah, getting both Wisdom runes is like devastating. All of a sudden, your supports are, you know, level 4, level 5 for the first 10, even 12 minutes.
It can make a big difference having the support level advantage. The one burning some mana using his EMP on the Invoker there.
Helm of the Dominator nearly done for this Lycan. That's going to be the first big shift in tempo for him to get one of those neutral creeps to actually start playing the game. Right, we've looked at some of these heroes and some of these drafts where we've talked about how good they are early game, mid game, late game, what they need in terms of timings, and what kind of heroes are fulfilling these roles. Lycan, very much an item timing hero, whereas you look at Mars and he's, you know, a level timing hero once he's level 6, but then he's also an item timing hero with his blink.
And that's super true. And we see again the Clockwork trying to be on the forefront and just going in here, looking for some information, but getting punished a bit. At least his carry is farming, and Kirstalis is gonna run away from bottom lane, realizing this is not a safe place to stay. Gonna come through the gate to top lane.
They can get some damage on the tier 1. Not sure they can outright kill the Monkey King.
Oh, Monkey saw this coming as well. Yeah. Since he had a ward, knowing the Jar came through the gates, he's gonna play it pretty safe. He's gonna do a pull for himself, reset the lane a bit.
He's well away.
This shifts the Gyrocopter over to Ancients, which is a very rich farmland. We usually say, oh, that's a lot of gold, but they're hard to kill. This is a Gyrocopter without power treads yet. No Crystallis on Mr. Crystallis. How can you farm the Ancients this early on? It's going to be difficult, so his farm is definitely hindered a bit, but the Monkey is still enjoying lane creeps, which give you a lot of gold this stage of the game.
Yeah, and that's where we see this breaking down of the laning phase come in much earlier than expected or wanted by Paravision, right? They wanted this laning phase to go on longer because Invoker flourishes in the laning phase. Gyro Clockwork, you know, should be doing decently there to get the farm going on Gyro, but because Liquid have made so many moves and have forced the hand of Paravision to kind of break things down, the towers have fallen, means they don't have lanes to play in anymore.
Yeah, so they're making the best they can, using the jungle, stacking up and farming where they can. Meanwhile, Invoker's getting involved, getting active.
Straight on to Saberlight, but he's going to Arena and try and run away here. Saberlight, well, actually trapped in the cogs. Ducalis gets them all stuck inside, but there's Mars tanky enough to withstand the damage from the Invoker and the Clockwork. And Liquid, they bring 4 heroes down here to secure this bottom jungle.
Oh no, Gareth, we're seeing a repeat of the first game very quickly. Liquid taking over the game 10-2, 4,000 gold ahead. And Paravision, just not really able to keep up with the tempo coming from this lower bracket team.
But Nyx has hit level 6. Has that invisibility surprise factor of 9 class, comes in and slays Sableye, who honestly was really pushing the boundaries there. Going all the way towards tier 2 in front of the enemy.
Is getting
Limit testing them.
getting something for Nyx there at least. Getting a solo kill gives him almost a full level experience on top of that level 6.
No one going to chuck the EMP and Tornado combo. So that lifts people up, and by the time you land, the big pink blob is going to drain all of your mana when that timer kind of expires.
Yeah, great way to put the enemy out of resources. But sometimes he can be lacking a bit of damage with this build. That's what we saw when Clockwork and Invoker tried to gank the Mars. They brought him out of mana and they did what they could, but Mars just had too much HP for them to go through with just the two of them.
This is... You're saying this is where things start to get kind of scary for Paravision, right? You've got to have a very clear understanding of your game plan and what the goal of this draft is. So what are the upsides for Paravision here?
I think the big thing is that the Gyrocopter is at least still, you know, finding space and recovering, even though the laning stage wasn't that good for him. And while Lycan had a tough lane, he hasn't died a single time. So working towards his Helm of the Overlord, that's going to be when he can take those big creeps, get the Ancients. Once he gets an Ancient creep, basically 9 class saying talentless and running away.
Well, this is what Nyx Assassin is so very good at. Going in behind enemy lines, scouting things out, and then getting away without dying.
The roll. Tornado.
Straight through the tornado. Nisha doesn't care about spells when he's got the roll going for him. They need some reveal though, and DM denies the arcane rune under their nose with a wolf.
Very nice micro by DM on the offlane, just farming, but meanwhile having impact with the wolves they sense across the map. But yeah, of course, the roll from Earth Spirit we haven't mentioned, but when you roll, you become invulnerable. Can roll through spells, can't be attacked. Very obnoxious to try and deal with, as the tornado missed him.
Now to the arena from Sableye. Easy pick off there. And Sableye pretty happy just to use his ultimate. It's not a massively long cooldown. By the time he sees another enemy hero, it's probably going to be ready again. But saying that, Paravision do try and poke at Sableye there with a bit of a go from the Nyx and the Invoker. They don't have quite enough.
And that's another Nyx Vendetta, though not connecting and getting a kill. So Oracle being there, he quickly heals up Sableye to full. No danger of dying. And I've seen Liquid do this many times before. When they get ahead early game with an Oracle, they can be extremely oppressive, just running in, saying you can't kill anyone unless you kill Oracle first. That saving factor is very important.
Yeah, it's another bonus life, right? We talked at length about getting Roshan early, having this Aegis of the Immortal. Oh, hang on. 9 classes. Scouring the jungle, looking for this Monkey King. He's atop the canopy and leaping away. But yeah, Liquid very good at exploiting these heroes' abilities and giving multiple lives, which the Oracle absolutely does through that false promise. Throw out here. The Wukong's from Mickey. A big golden circle of monkey statues is going to take down the Nyx Assassin. Ducalis on the outskirts of this fight, thinking about re-entering with the wolf, because DM is in shapeshift form. Sunstrike's going to land but not finish off the Monkey King. Mickey is going to sprint away from this now. Sableye's caused issues in the back lines along with Nisha and Boxy. They roll back in onto this wolf. DM's in trouble. He's going to get pummeled here, but the Dark Willow does fall to the wolves. Yeah, Liquid can keep on going. It seemed like they wanted to chase no one who's out of resources, but Ducalis' Clockwork and now the Gyrocopter of Chrysalis, they've all arrived to at least hold the line.
So in the end, a really good fight for Radiant, actually. What looked like it could be a disaster. They missed the initial stun on the Nyx as they put down the sentry, and that hurt them a lot. Oracle died without being able to cast his ulti as well. So Paravision recognizing that we have to kill Oracle first. Only then can we turn our attention to the other heroes.
Honestly, most of that money coming from the kill on the Willow. The streak that Boxy had there gave them well over 1,000 gold.
Tons of money coming out. Very, very nice for them. Willow having the drums as well on her team, so she can buff up her teammates. Playing the drums, giving attack speed and movement speed. The Clockwork posturing top, looking for something. A Sableye is coming in and getting scouted by the wolves. The Helm of the Overlord is here, so now we see the big creeps coming out from Lycan. taking over. He had a lizard right now, but the Thunderhide is not really what you want. He wants to find a dragon or a granite golem at best. Those are the ideal candidates to take over. The Thunderhide is a little bit squishy, dies quite easily.
Yeah, not the best. His frenzy is cool. He claps the ground. All bark and no bite.
He's not terrible. You know, he's using the creep to push the lane while he's farming jungle as Lycan, so he's getting really fast farm at this point.
Yeah, that's that ghost push we were talking about previously. The summons of the Lycan, they're on the lane showing, pushing a tower and kind of forcing Liquid to make a choice. Do we come back and react to this, or do we let the push happen while the Lycan is tucked away? You know, you're creating a bubble around you. Nice bit of space. Oh, Nisha pulls the rune, and an interesting interaction there. Fortune's End, taking him straight out of the tornado of the Invoker.
Right.
Fortune's End has that dispel.
Yeah, you can dispel. I was watching the Lycan clearing out his big camp and preventing a little kobold from body blocking it by killing it, but yeah, you're right. The Fortune's End can dispel a whole lot of things, especially Invoker spells. You can also take away the Cold Snap on one of your teammates or Alacrity on an enemy. So Oracle able to dispel a lot of things.
Oh, and a lesson, if you're wanting to learn heroes like Oracle, or you've got a hero that casts spells on allies, if you can't see your ally or you're having difficulties clicking on the hero, you can use the portraits at the top. So Oracle can click his spell and click on one of the portraits at the top to identify the exact hero that he wants to cast it on.
Yeah,
very important when you've got a hero like Phantom Lancer on your team. A lot of illusions are created, and you want to find the real one, you press the portrait at the top.
That's super useful, but keep in mind you can only do it on allied heroes. You cannot cast spells on enemies that way. If you're seeing multiple Terrorblades or something, like, oh, I want to stun the real one, you cannot use it that way. Kalis again. I feel like I'm always seeing him running into enemy team, but he's also not a high priority kill, and somebody just walked away from that one with the cogs. Snuck away.
Yeah, missed spear from Saberlight, and then the walk away from Ducalis.
Monkey King.
Grasps of Liquid.
Sitting on top of a few heroes.
The tree on tree.
He's camouflaged himself.
He's been spotted, has he? High class. He knew Mickey was up there. Now the hook shot of the Oracle stops the false promise. Ducalis, perfect timing. Takes down the monkey, kills off the Oracle. Now Nisha's in. Magnetized and a double damage rune inside the arena. Saberlight is coming and traps them. Pins the wolf against the side of the wall. And DM taking a lot of damage, but giving as good as he takes as he turns. Swipes down Boxy's Dark Willow, and Nisha now taken out.
Four heroes down. Paravision getting a huge win on the back of killing the Monkey King. A little bit perhaps overstepping from Team Liquid going in after losing both the Oracle and the Monkey King for free. So fantastic fight for Paravision. Now they can really enjoy this top part of the map.
How did they know the monkey was there? They saw him previously with the ward jump over the ward?
No, I don't think so. I think it's Monkey. The Nick's walking under, right?
He just walked right under him and saw right.
He walked onto the tree.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay.
So they kind of saw him in the general area with the observer ward, and then the Nyx walked over him to get actual vision of him.
Exactly, because Nyx was able to attack him, so he could see. I don't think the observer won't show you when you're on top of a tree unless the observer is on the high ground. But Nyx with the Vendetta walking into the tree with his free pathing got the vision of the extra tree on top there and just attacked it, so you could see him. Important to mention, Nyx has Dagon now, which is a lot of extra damage that he can use in his burst combo. So this increases his chance to kill something like the Oracle, for instance, or the Willow. And paired up with a Sunstrike, he could kill even the bigger core heroes now.
This is where he gets very scary.
The monkey has bought a Sanch and Yasha though, so he's not the easiest target. Oh, they actually dust the Nyx.
Found him.
Yeah, he walked close enough to the Sentry and Observer Ward combination. So there's a little bit of overlap where there's both Sentry Vision and regular vision, which Nyx walked under, and that revealed him.
And the pest control comes into play.
Yeah, spray him with the dust and then get rid of him.
Well, this is that key portion of the game, though, as we reach minute 20. You see a lot of these secondary items start to appear for the core heroes. Invoker either Commander style into Dragonlance, building a lot of stats to build up his damage. But primarily, I'm looking at BKBs. Pyro and Lycan both have theirs, as Liquid is still waiting on their Earth Spirit, the Monkey King, to try and actually finish them off. And then Mars too, right? So
Yeah.
technically Paravision ahead of the curve for this next team fight.
Definitely. I mean, they delayed it a little bit on Monkey King by buying the Sanchin Yasha earlier. So he's basically taking a bit of a detour before going to the BKB. And I don't think it's a bad idea. The Sanchin Yasha gives you a lot of different benefits, in particular status resistance, so you can lower the duration of stuns on him. I like to see Paravision here taking an immediate Tormentor. At 20-minute mark it spawns, they killed it at 20 and 20. So that's going to give them a quick respawn on that and give them more shards.
Radiant
Give them the shard on Nyx, which particularly causes a break when he attacks. That could take away the Bulwark from Mars, his defensive ability, or even aggressively could take away the Jingu Mastery from Monkey King so that he cannot build those stacks.
Cool options.
It's not a huge shard for Nyx to get in this game, though. They would have preferred to get it on the Clockwork. Getting the Jetpack ability would have been fantastic.
Oh yeah. Fly around. Escape or initiate. Good scouting tool. Kind of annoying to keep track of the clock. But also around these BKB timings, minute 20. Roshan on the menu for both these sides as they'll smoke up around this Roshan area in the bottom right corner of the map. And look at this Dark Willow and a tasty morsel to blow up. On the left-hand side, however, they've got a catch on the Clockwork to call it inside the arena. Chrysalis is BKB'd up and chasing them with the Wolf, though. Liquid have lost both supports, and the rest of the team scattering, not wanting to face on Paravision and their full strength.
Support's dying only, and that's going to be clear here for Paravision to just push into the tower. Does look like Sableye is considering defending. He's setting up and saying that, oh, maybe you guys can TP on respawn, but it's just the wolves pushing. It's just a summon of wolves. There's no hero here. Even the Forge Spirit coming in. It's all animals.
The zoo. Not the petting zoo.
No,
Do not feed or touch the animals.
Or like a Jurassic Park kind of deal.
Bite back. Still no easy opening to go into the Roche pit. The Paravision didn't have the free Aegis off the back of that fight, but they are still getting into position to go and take it.
They're grouping up, starting it now, and Liquid not really playing the area.
Radiant's middle
Far away
tower
from
is
this.
under attack.
One deep ward much further down. I don't think it's scouted Paravision moving into this area, but Liquid will have a good idea it's happening. I just don't feel comfortable entering the vicinity. Like, still waiting for stabilized BKB is such a painful period of time to be waiting for.
You basically can't play into Paravision's draft without BKB. There's too much control. The Clockwork has a million stuns with his battery assaults. You have Nyx stunning people up. Invoker is the best control hero perhaps after the Shaker. You know, all the AoE control he has is crazy. And then you have Gyrocopter, who also is pretty hard to play into if you don't have BKB. So it just feels like it's a necessity before they take teamfight that they get this on all three of their core heroes. Force Spirit already has his, of course, but he needs it on Monkey. And I guess we can go back to something that we've talked about before, you know, which team has the advantage going late game. Something that we got asked on previous games and series. I would say in this game, maybe a slight advantage for Liquid, as Lycan can tend to fall off to some degree.
Is under attack.
But Gyrocopter is still a very formidable force come late game, and if he buys a Rapier, you can see one of the craziest late game heroes.
Invoker as well. Invoker, one of these heroes that really does have these ebbs and flows, especially around BKBs. And we'll see Paravision here getting a catch onto the Monkey King. Might force the false promise and does out of Insania, so requires the save. And Mickey turning with his Wukong's command. The ultimate used up and leaping forward to try and catch no one. Liquid have used some big cooldowns here and they need to be paid back for it. A Sableye perfect arena, catching the Gyro inside, so he protects the Mickey Monkey King at the same time. But this DM Lycan, the Wolf, they're doing a lot of damage and chasing the Monkey King down. Mickey fortunately had the Jingu stacks up to get a lot of life steal from the Boundless Strike though.
Yeah, an enormous heal coming in. They're actually chasing a bit, thinking they can maybe go on Gyrocopter. Nisha is here. Blade Mill, Chrysalis can't keep attacking. He has to stop attacking, otherwise the Blade Mill will kill him.
So back and forth, and Liquid kind of realizing, okay, it's just Aegis Gyro. We're probably not going to kill him twice. Don't want to go too deep here. They fall back.
Yeah, and Paravision continuing with their game plan of just getting rid of the supports immediately in the fights. We saw the attempted go on Monkey King, but when the false promise comes out, they shift their attention to the support heroes instead. Insania, by the way, speaking of the supports, extremely close now. He's going to get his Blink Dagger, so that's going to make Oracle's job much easier because his big difficulty in the fights is staying alive while also being in range to protect his allies. So the Blink Dagger can allow him to sit a little bit further back and then blink in to save last second when his teammates are dying.
Yeah, so instead of now having 700 range on False Promise, effectively he has close to 2,000 range with the Blink Dagger added. The Earth Spirit was trying to roll away, stunned and sunstruck, but the save from Boxy. Multiple layers of protection here. The Terrorize sends them all back, and now the heals can come in to protect Nisha's Earth Spirit.
Even killing off the homing missile as it chases him there. 3 attacks and he will die.
They see Night Class. They'll roll right onto this next assassin. The Bedlam and the damage from Nisha should be enough to secure this kill.
No one stands in.
Mid lane, we saw BKB TP out from Saberlight. Sunstrike attempted in base, but I think it missed. Would have probably killed him as well. It looked like it was going to be enough damage with max level Sunstrike. Nice try by no one. Globally trying to get that kill after the TP out.
Again, still kind of painful though, right? Waiting for Saberlight's BKB. Now he has to use it defensively. Another waiting period for Liquid.
They're trying to take Tormentor. They should be able to do it, but Saberlight taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, there's a discussion in chat about the Tormentor and whether or not it gives gold, what happens when everyone has shard. Does it give experience?
Exactly. You get gold for the last hit, always 250. You don't get gold to everyone unless everyone already has shard. Then it gives gold to everybody. You also get experience from killing it. So basically, it is more worth it to buy all your shards and then kill the Tormentor afterwards. You can get more value just in raw gold, but it can be more impactful to get the 1400 gold on one hero for free.
Yeah. Does it always give experience, or that's only when everyone has shard?
It always gives some experience. I think it gives more experience when everyone has shard as well. But there's always some experience tied to it.
I'm doing homework here. I'm reading the wiki page on it, which sometimes isn't fully correct, so I'm going to trust you on that. The wiki says it gives 0 experience if you kill it normally, and then 280 per player.
I could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong that it gives... I think maybe it doesn't give experience, but either way, it does always give gold to the last hit, so you get 250 gold.
For sure. So many rules and exceptions in this game. Keeping track of it.
You don't really take it. You don't really take it for gold or experience. You take it for that power spike on a particular hero, getting the shard immediately.
Yeah, the primary question was, is there any point killing it after everyone has shard?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's honestly even more important at that stage, I would say, since it gives you so much gold.
Another roll, another catch. Clockwork and Willow on opposing sides going to get beaten and battered. Dark Willow much faster, though, and the Clockwork actually not dying. Got himself a Solar Crest and a close. That makes him very tanky against physical and magical hits. And he actually turns. A reinitiation back onto Nisha here with the Clockwork hookshot. That puts him in danger. Forcing Liquid, though, to cast a couple of big ultimate spells. Oh, the Sunstrike clips Saberlight on his way back, trying to retreat. Amar's dead, and Paravision, they're hunting. The wolf is shapeshifted in lichen form. Monkey King is tapped by the carapace of Night Class as Mickey. He jumps into the middle of this fight, wanting to make something happen, but he's kind of alone here. BKB and running away, DM's Lichen coming in to kill him, but the kickback. Mickey dodging the Sunstrike. Black cannons are landing, but Mickey has evaded all the spells. He survives barely by the skin of his teeth.
Oh, that was crazy. If he went down there, that would have been disaster for them. But still, the push is coming in. No one is not wasting any time at all. Laying some damage into that mid tower. We also have the shard on the Lycan, so the wolves are pushing. While all this is happening, the side lanes are coming in.
Yeah, Liquid hemmed in their base.
Is under attack.
Yeah, so Lycan Shard passively spawns wolves on every single lane. Well, not everyone at once, but it will spawn one wolf on one of the lanes on every single spawn. And those wolves will push towers pretty hard. They can cripple towers, and they're low on the priority list, so tower won't kill them until the very end. And what cripple means is it takes away attack speed from the tower. So generally, you need to work harder to keep those side lanes shoved out now if you're on Team Liquid. those wolves can be added as well. He cannot control them. They are just passively running down lanes as an extra.
Again, 9 classes walked under a sentry. Striking a lot of damage onto Boxy, but the Dark Willow's fine. And another key bridge moment here, as Roshan could be spawning in the next 30 seconds or so. Then again, could be spawning in the next 3 minutes.
Exactly. You never know until in 30 seconds from now. We will know exactly when, and the players, they just simply have to control the area. So they know it's going to spawn bottom because it's a 3-minute window, and for the next 5 minutes, Roshan will reside in the bottom part of the map until the 35-minute mark where he would have gone top. So as long as they set up control for the bottom area, they're in good shape to take the Aegis. 30 minutes and immediately they take another shard. This is very, very on point Tormentor takes.
Yeah, we talked to Astini, their coach, and we talked about the grand vision of the game and how you deliver from draft to in-game in terms of executing when you don't have the coach communicating with you. And he was like, yeah, we just have this kind of foundation and ground plan of the objectives we want to take, and the heroes on top are kind of flavor almost.
Exactly. So they get that done, get the Tormentor for themselves, and that's going to give Invoker a shard, which pulls people into the EMP during its existence. So basically harder to get away from that mana burn. It also increases the damage from it.
Scanning.
Smoke gang coming out. We see Nyx leading the way.
Oh. Immediate carapace and jump back. A couple of scans there on the mini-map. The green circles that are spinning around means the teams are using this kind of radar technology, the scan, Oracle, whoever it is, trying to show them a bit of information on the map. Carlos going to use a bit of that info there, get into the tree line and find Boxy's Dark Willow.
Also nice use of the hook. He didn't have vision, by the way. He just hooked right into a tree line exactly where she was. He did break the smoke, of course, so he knew that there should be a hero nearby, but correct read on exactly where can sometimes be hard to get while it's playing on point.
Well done. And they used Arena further back as well. The defensive Arena from Liquid to disengage after losing Boxy's life.
Tough for Liquid to hold on to control of the bottom part of the map now. And Roche did spawn quickly. Pretty early spawn allows them to now start out taking the Roche down. The roar free. This roar does tell Liquid that Roche is being taken.
Roshan dead. Liquid still in a position to think about fighting. Stole the Invoker for a brief moment and they tried to catch him, but now Liquid realizing Paravision have that advantage. Moving forward and starting to be aggressive. 0-1 and 9 class leading the way. Start out with that EMP and Tornado. 9 class is hunting in the back, looking for the Oracle or juicier targets. You can see Paravision being, kind of delicate with the way they're approaching this fight, still respecting Liquid.
That's a lot of mana burned away from the Earth Spirit, though, so he doesn't have enough mana to use his entire toolkit to fight erupts now. So those EMPs, even though they don't lead to a kill always, they're still frustrating. And the swinging towards mid, Crystal is saying, maybe we push high ground. Look at the wolves! There are 3 wolves just eating your tower! No one's defending!
The glyph comes in after the tower dies, before they can reach the barracks.
Yeah, that's not a good glyph. That was definitely a bad timing to click it.
And now Roshan's banner is down, kind of glyphing up the Ravy creep wave. Nikkei has to deal with all these wave creeps while the Lycan and his summon just pummel into the building.
Yeah, banner placed a little bit far back, but they didn't really want to take the fight on the high ground. So Paravision backing out, respecting. Going high ground early can be a scary thing to do. Gonna back out now. Mickey wants to fight, by the way. He has Butterfly, giving him a ton of evasion and also super fast attacks. Look at that. Mjolnir plus Butterfly is some crazy attack speed on the Monkey King. So he feels he could man fight pretty damn well right now. It's a favorable spot to take the fight.
Liquid trying to push Paravision back away from the Ancients, away from the base. They'll smoke up. Wolf scouted Nietzsche coming in, but he didn't see this move. The Monkey King's in with the Arena and the Wukong, the overlapping circle here, trapping Crystal inside, so Gyro's first life, it's gone. Diema Ducalis in trouble as well, dropping low to the Magnetize. Saberlight misses his God's Rebuke. But they can still look at this No One Invoker as an easy target to pick off. They're straight in on top of him, the Bedlam is going, and no one is dead. 2 pretty big kills here as Liquid pummel Paravision down, and Chrysalis, the Jericho, to have the TP home. Nyx Assassin, the casualty of war, left stranded there. Yes, Paravision get 2 of their heroes with kill streaks out, but Liquid showing, even into ages, they're able to bring people down.
Amazing play by them. And I think Paravision may have overemphasized their need to kill the Oracle, right? They went on the backline, but they invested so many resources into it. And during that time, they had Gyrocopter losing his Aegis, they had Clockwork and the Invoker just getting run down a bit. And we saw Liquid just stampeding over them with the use of the Arena, the Wukong's command. This is scary news. Mickey's Monkey King is starting to get very powerful.
Especially when they get that overlapping of ultimates, right? When they're able to actually find the target they want, trap them inside, and just beat into them. You know, you are shackled, you're locked down, you cannot escape.
It's a problematic thing as well that the Monkey King wins the man fight right now against Gyrocopter super hard. Like, it's not even close because Monkey will keep life stealing with his fast attacks. Nick's hunting. As well, they're going for some kills down here, ball.
Yeah, they found Saberlight. Trapped him in the cogs. There's a false promise and a bit of healing coming the way of Saberlight here, who could blink away. Something here, of course, false promise does is blocks all the damage, so it allows the blink to come off cooldown and gives you that distance to TP home. And Insane is also going to activate his own blink.
He's trying to run away. Pretty difficult to outrun people as an Oracle, but he did blink far enough that they are going to give up on the chase. Amazing survival. Yeah, we did hear Lycan transform trying to pursue there, but that puts his ulti on cooldown.
And it's
The longest cooldown ever, but it does give a timing window again for Liquid to make more moves. As Lycan without his ulti for 45 seconds now is going to be a bit of a timing for them.
Right, yeah, transformation spells like that, you kind of talk about the uptime and the downtime of it, right?
Yep. Exactly. The cooldown is one thing, but since it has the duration tied to it as well, the effective uptime is the important thing. So in 30 seconds, he will have it again.
Yeah, 75-second cooldown, 25-second duration, just a 50-second wait to be available again after it ends.
And if he does get kills during his ulti, it extends the duration of the ulti by 5 seconds. So every single kill on a hero or his by him or his units will extend the duration for 5 seconds. Of course, he transformed, but his units also do get buffed. Even though they don't transform into different wolves, I guess, they all get the buff as well, where they get some critical chance and extra speed.
Oracle? Nearly getting blown up there.
Is under attack.
Nine class, with the help of that Sunstrike, almost dispatching with the Oracle quickly. And the Brambles for now, and a bit of vision for Paravision. Sees the Dark Willow on this high ground of the Twin Gate, but a good move from Boxy to blink away.
Still hunting with the Nyx. Could maybe connect, but pushes him away using the neutral item. Trying to push 95 away.
Oh, the Eon Disc dispelled immediately by the tornado, but he's in the Shadow Realm and there's no more ground stuns. Oh, was he in between the cogs?
Yeah, the angle for the cogs, that's crazy. They normally would push you there, stopping your TP out, but he somehow lived. Foxy actually out of his mind surviving that. He does not deserve to live.
He did.
Yeah, just misangled position. It's very unlikely that happens, but Takal is just normally you don't even really think about the angle.
Old cogs would have got him.
Yeah, that's true.
Dire are scanning.
And overall, this is where we hit that point in the game, right, where we can say Lycan, yeah, he has a lot of net worth, but it does feel like he's falling off a bit, whereas Monkey King having 28k net worth is just absurdly powerful. And even though Mars is behind the Lycan by a huge margin, by the way, 10,000 gold behind the offlane counterpart, he still kind of delivers what he needs to. He has the Arena, he has Blink, he has Hex. He can just control the enemy. He doesn't bring that much damage, but I don't think he needs to when Monkey King is this huge.
It's all about that net worth into impact, right? Finding the efficiency of farming and turning that gold into something meaningful. The Mars right now, he has a Blink initiator. He needs Blink, BKB to cast his spells.
He knows his role and he's playing it perfectly in this game.
Is under attack.
That does put a lot of pressure on Mikko, of course, so if he ever gets picked off, if they burst him quickly, then I think Liquid can't really take a fight. All the damage they have is basically coming from him, whereas Paravision, they do have a tri-core we talk about sometimes. 3 core heroes that are all getting big and strong. Gyrocopter is going to do a lot of damage. Lycan can do a lot of damage. And Invoker scaling into that late game as well. Building towards a Hex as his next item.
This can be a little bit more nuanced and challenging for Paravision to enter the team fight in the way they want to. But this could be a good start here. Scouting Sableye and already forcing a BKB. Science device used to turn the clockwork into a piggy. Liquid looks like they're going to take down the clock without too much answering from Paravision. But the fact that Liquid just have these kind of point and click, jump and cast big circles, if they see the target they want to go on, they've got everything to dump on them. Whereas Paravision needs to be kind of more back and forth, and we always talk about this Lycan wanting to hunt in the back lines.
The gem on the Earth Spirit he's chasing now. Not gonna see Nyx just yet. Want to play in a 5v4 advantage with Clockwork dead. Vision still wants to take the fights. This is Sableye
Fine, Crystal is being psyched up. The Hex onto the Gyro could cause issues, but they've tornadoed Mickey. And EMP in a hook shot, that's in the lane for this Monkey King to deal with. He drops very low and dies. Nisha comes in far too late. Now Crystal is free reign to chase the third spirit down. Sends Nisha all the way back.
Middle barracks are under
Paravision. They've secured themselves the area around the Roche pit. He's not spawning for a minute and a half, but some big kills here from the Eastern European side. Has managed to find them the kill on the Monkey King and now potentially the Earth Spirit as well.
And the mid creeper, Willow is trying to stop it, but it's killing Rax right now. Her hero doesn't kill the siege creeps fast enough. She's trying, fighting as she can, but she dies.
His middle barracks has fallen.
Strike wasn't even needed.
That is so huge. Oh, even looking for the
Stun into the tornado, EMP and the Hex. They've killed off Sableye's Mars now too.
I'm dead. He buys back to try and defend, knowing that he would lose his throne if he doesn't defend. But alone, he cannot do it. Monkey also spending his buyback. But without BKB on Monkey King, this is difficult to fight.
And with no Earth Spirit for 50 seconds either. This is hard for Liquid now. They've used the glyph, they've defended at least their tier 4s. Paravision swing down south to go for tier 3 and more barracks. The Liquid has to go and make a move. Sableye don't jump. Spears the Gyro away, but the hook shot in from Decalo catches the Monkey King. And Sableye doesn't die back from your Mars. Monkey trapped inside the cog. Balls dropping from the heavens. The big meteors of flame and fury. Dropped by the Invoker nearly kills the Monkey King off, while Nisha has just bought back and respawned and nearly dies to the Lycan.
So much damage coming out really fast from that Bloodthorn. Mickey has to frontline Insania, trying to protect him.
Yeah, back in. Thinking about to go on the Monkey King, but Chrysalis has made the call here to go for objective. Here's the building to end the game, but he's been jumped on again by Liquid. Inside the Rubos command, the Gyrocopter is dead. He got the tier 4s, they got the racks down bottom, but Paravision, they didn't get the job done quick enough. They couldn't go for that killing blow, and Liquid now have another chance.
Oh, there we see the damage from the nuke coming in. Monkey King throwing his Q, and they're gonna be in time to defend that top mega creep or huge creep wave coming in. I gotta say mega creeps because it isn't bad, but they did get 2 lanes of racks on side of Paravision, and buybacks were spent as well. So while yes, they didn't end the game, they got a huge lead from all of this. The fight recap does show that it was a 1 fight for Liquid, but with all the buildings down and the tier 4 tower gold as well, it still pushed the net worth advantage to 23,000 now.
Just one lane separates them from those mega creeps. They've got super creeps in the other 2 lanes. No one says, I don't care, super creeps, I want megas. Walks up the top, gets a lot of damage on that tier 3 tower.
Exactly. Pushing, he knows that they want to take Roshan right now. Since they don't have buybacks, they want to get the Aegis, but no one says, I'm just gonna split push. I've seen him do this before in a lot of games. He's good at recognizing when to poke and prod and force people home. He has Nyx nearby, so it's not just a threat. He could go for kills as well. Roche is slowly being taken. Half HP on the other side. But they lose the top tier 3 tower. With the Black Dragon here, the range racks is now being threatened.
They need this Aegis on Mickey though. And being contested by no one. Ooh, Roshan dies, and the Dire gets the kill. There's a lot of goodies on the floor though, and Mickey's got to do some inventory management quickly. Grabs the Aegis and the Shard. There's the cheese and the banner there for the Oracle to grab. Now it is full retreat mode. Mickey needs to get the hell out of here as quickly as humanly monkily possible.
Oh no, his Aghanims might have revealed him. Spawn a monkey warrior next to him. but it's fine. Volker doesn't realize.
Oh, meanwhile, Misha, after being defensively, turns himself into a stone, drifts over the hell of Sableye, who's here with an arena, and this Earth Spirit barely survives while DM nearly dies. Now the Lycan has to go home.
That was some value Earth Spirit Aghanims. We see him turning into a stone, kicking himself away to safety. You cannot be killed while you're in stone form. You're basically invulnerable for a long period of time, but you can use the kick still. I don't think you can use any other ability, right? You can only use Boulder Smash during the Aghanims.
I think so.
Yeah.
Does he have a talent or something that lets you use the grip?
Not during the Aghanims, no.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very useful for him to get him out of trouble there. And despite Paravision's huge lead, it's easy to be optimistic here for Liquid. They have the Aegis, they have Refresher Shard on Monkey King as well. It's very difficult, but they have the keys to bring it back.
Right, they bought themselves more chances here, right? Looks like Insania was trying to get out and get some wards down, but walks into the wrong neighborhood. Yeah, Liquid with that base defense, the kill on Gyro, the Roshan steal, they're just giving themselves these little extra lifts up that they desperately need, because this game, easily could have been over already.
Crazy game for sure. What's the teal circle where it looks like it's raining? That's a good question. So that's Oracle's Shard. It's the Rain of Destiny. It makes it so that your allies will get healed passively, and they also get amplified healing from any heal source. And your enemies will take damage for standing in it, so that will prevent them blinking, for instance. And they also get less healing while they stand in the ring. It's from his shard, so very nice little AoE effect.
Dire are scanning.
Come on, the newcomer stream needs to see it. Don't buy a Swift Link, buy the Rapier.
He queued up the Rapier again. Oh, on Monkey King, I mean, on Mickey.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah,
we'll see
so
a Rapier on him instead.
Yeah, we could definitely see it. This is usually seen as a Hail Mary item. In Dota, Rapier is a dangerous item to buy because if you die a single time, you drop it and the enemy might take it from you. But it also gives tremendous damage. So when you're desperate, it is the item the carries will turn towards.
Big damage, big numbers.
Yeah. The Gyrocopter probably wants to have Blink to be able to follow up with the Clockwork and the Nyx when they initiate, because he's a little bit slow and predictable in the fights, but if he can Blink in, that will give him some authority on when he wants to take the fight.
It's kind of funny thinking back how this game started. It's gone from Paravision being in despair mode, struggling to play the game and fulfill the roles of their heroes, to now being 24,000 gold ahead, almost 50 minutes in, being in the lead and nearly ending the game with a victory. Liquid now on the back foot. Just the way this game can go back and forth with some good decision making or mistakes or poor moves, swinging the game very quickly. Like right now, Saberlight walks down the vision. He doesn't know it.
Well, he did just get hooked on mid lane, but blinked out of the hook shot right as it came, so he dodged it already, feeling a little bit safe after that. They go out, they use their gem on the Earth Spirit to control D-ward some wards. They didn't find the ward in the lane though, behind them. So still some Radiant Vision behind them.
Paravision knows that Liquid are all 5 in that mid lane.
Under attack.
Gives Nyx Assassin the chance to push bottom with the help of Forge Spirits. Top lane shoved pretty close to the barracks as well. So Liquid back in gardening mode. They've got to prune the lanes.
They do have to always come back and fix the lanes as both the big creeps and the wolves come in. And Nyx did overstep a little bit here, walk too close to the gem.
Yeah, nice snipe. Saberlight has an Aeon Disc, not assembled yet.
They are in a very, very dangerous stage of the game still on Liquid, but having the Aegis on Monkey King, they are looking for some chance to take a fight. No timeout in 20 seconds though, so not really gonna find what he wants.
At the very least, that's given them time to kind of weather the storm of buyback cooldowns. So they should be coming back in the next couple of minutes or so. Less than a minute even for a lot of their heroes.
20 seconds, the monkey will have his buyback. Now, buyback cost scales with time and also with your net worth, so your buybacks will get very, very expensive. So 3,000 cost on Monkey King already.
immediate sight. They've hexed up the Invoker and forced him to BKB. Sableye and Mickey put both of their ultis down here, trying to kill off Ducalis, but the Clockwork has even just run away from this. So big expenditure from Liquid and no game so far. I mean, Paravision is very happy to re-enter the gyro. They can find the movement, but the damage on the gyro kills Flip off immediately. He steps up thinking this was an easy fight to enter, and Liquid shut the door on him, slamming it on his fingers. Now no one has to BKB TP, but the BKB ends. He's stuck over here. Liquid handed another chance on a silver platter. And it looked like they wasted their ultimates. And the base is dying. You're right. The barracks are falling, but Sableye and Boxy, they're here. A lot of stuns on the DM. He's going to punch away the barracks. He'll get the job done. Mega creeps will come. And DM, the BKB TP home gets him back to Fountain.
What a Giga Chat moment. Take the barracks, and that's going to score them the entire Mega Creeps now as well. So huge advantage for them structurally. They lost a massive team fight. Liquid now, they want to make the most out of this. 70 seconds on the Invoker being dead. They're going to storm across the map and try and get something more. And we can see the damage output of Monkey was already crazy. He just finished it. We've been talking about it, Garrett, so much that Divine Rapier is here.
It's here. The Divine Rapier. So 100 flat bonus damage, and then when it's in physical mode, another 250 bonus attack damage on top of a crit, which is that percentage chance to amplify your physical damage on hit. And all his attack speed, Monkey King really does a lot of damage now.
Yeah, that's going to amp both his damage and the damage on his Wukong's command. When he drops that big circle, those clones hit for your damage. So they're extremely strong now, and he can use that aggressively to push. They might even go for a big play for the throne here. I don't think they're going to go for Rax. They're going for the end.
Oh my god, you're right. They know they're against Mega Creep, so they're taking this opportunity to try and end the game. Monkey King, he's got BKB and Wukong. The glyph is used kind of early on here by Paravision. Sableye will spend the arena and his on this to try and stay alive and force them back into the fountain, while Mickey, well, he's died. Big shot in the kill by the tier 4s, dead without buyback, and Team Liquid, they threw everything they could here to try and finish the game, but they'll lose the Rapier, they'll lose their Monkey King, and very likely lose game 2 as Paravision pick it up on the gyrocopter and look to finish off the throne with creeps in the base.
Yeah, then they're coming. The 5 heroes are coming, and only 3 residents in this dire base now. As the Mars is dead, no way to join the fight again. He has buyback on cooldown. They're aware of this. And the Monkey just bought a Rapier, meaning he unlikely has the gold for a buyback. And yeah, sadly he doesn't. I believe that was a desperate attempt, a valiant effort to go for the final push. Commendable. I didn't even really see how Monkey King got pushed to the side there and died. Did he mess up his boundless strike?
I think he did, yeah.
Because his Wukong's command ended and he died super fast, but I think he may have had alt cast on his shard and died. If that's what happened, that is a sad misplay. I'll have to look at that replay again, because I'm not sure.
Yeah, not entirely sure. Liquid though with 3 members standing, trying to defend their throne. Not feasible here. Paravision will come in and finish off the game, tying things up 1-1. So this best of 5 now with 2 games played and tied up. Kind of puts us in a best of 3.
Yeah, starting a best of 3 at this point and moving forward. 2 crazy games, already some big late games and crazy abilities being used. Rapier in game number 2, and possibly 3 full games to go in this massive series.
Beautifully done by Paravision there to kind of get past that initial laning stage, which looked so disastrous for them. Get past Liquid's overwhelming team fight and kind of stop Sableye in his tracks. This Mars had some good ultis, had some good blink initiations, but there was that really awkward period of the game, right, where Liquid were waiting for BKBs across 3 core heroes.
Yeah.
And Paravision used that time perfectly, as it looks like Nisha there trolling with the microphone in his mouth. Can you hear me now?
That was some amazing moment for him right there, for Paravision, turning the fight around with that final fight. But
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Don't feel bad if you're a newcomer and you feel like, oh, it's so hard. All these buttons, all these spells, what do I do? Trust me, we all make mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things going on in a Dota game, so many things you've got to worry about. Your own hero, enemy heroes, where are my allied heroes? What's going on? How many spells have been cast on me? In that heat of the moment, you know, shit hits the fan. You're 50, 60 minutes into a game, on stage, the pressure is high, and sometimes you just got to lean back and relax and reset.
10
Yeah,
seconds remaining.
sometimes you gotta take a deep rest. I feel like his mic is so close, his team is listening to his
5
breath now.
seconds
This is
remaining.
ASMR time.
Nisha ASMR. But here we are, draft for game 3, and we are going to see a lot of repetition through this series. Chen,
Radiant
Alchemist,
team
DK,
ban.
Phoenix, TA. But does that Monkey King now? No, he does not. He gets banned by Liquid. Never
10
mind. Does
seconds
Magnus?
remaining.
Does Magnus now?
Magnus, maybe a banned Beastmaster
5
take
seconds
Magnus,
remaining.
you know, something we've seen before. Or perhaps some other hero if they're respecting even the support over on Team Liquid. We've seen potential bans towards those heroes. But
DM gave a little shrug there.
maybe
Might
ban
be.
Shaker.
Radiant
Ban
team-
Shaker and take
Team
Magnus, because that has
Liquid's
been
turn.
Liquid's go-to response to the Magnus first pick.
Ban the Magnus and pick the Gyro, so giving Crystallis a bit of comfort there in their first pick.
Yeah, fantastic hero to have after all. The Gyrocopter is a very good center to the team fights. Brings a lot
10
of
seconds
damage to a big fight. We can see it's 13 wins and 8 losses so
5
far. So
seconds
hero has been
remaining.
looking pretty damn good in this tournament.
The potential, you know, if things go badly and the Gyrocopter kind of gets dealt with in the draft, can put him as a position 4 hero.
Radiant
he can
team back.
offer a lot from that role in the offlane.
Definitely true. And that's the sound of the Primal Beast coming in. You can recognize that sound. Hear it when he's charging in and trying to gank someone as well. Huge, big, strong hero coming in. We can have a look at the heroes that are joining in. So, of course, again,
10
Gyrocopter
seconds
with the
remaining.
ability to put the missiles on people, deal damage to anyone who gets too
5
close,
seconds
and also
remaining.
has the call down and hitting everyone around him. But Primal Beast, we didn't get to see him too many
Radiant
times.
team
We saw him one game earlier. He's a great hero for locking down a single target with his ulti. He can pulverize someone, smashing them into the ground, stunning anyone nearby and dealing damage. But he also can just walk all over his enemies, trampling around, dealing damage to anyone near him. And finally, he has a charge
10
ability that can
seconds
stun
remaining.
people and also charge his hero forwards over terrain and through
5
tree lines.
seconds remaining.
And that pulverize from Primal Beast, it also goes through debuff immunity, right?
Yeah, it does. It's one of the better single target abilities to lock down someone who may have used the
Team
debuff immunity that is the
Liquid's turn to
BKB.
ban.
Doesn't matter, can still be picked up and slammed just like so. So that's pretty fantastic to have. And generally, we look at Primal Beast as a very active hero who can get involved and gank a lot. We've seen some interesting tech as well lately in this tournament where people use this hero to kill the first creep wave
10
before it
seconds
reaches the
remaining.
lane even, and then turn that into an early gank. We'll
5
see if that's going to
seconds
happen in this
remaining.
game as well. But using the trample ability, he can kill the first creep wave almost entirely by the use of one little blood grenade. He kills it.
I guess kind of similar to Mars in the fact that Primal Beast is going to be your offlaner for Saberlight, and he's going to be the initiation hero as well, looking for angles of attack in team fights to find that specific target he wants to pulverize and kind of remove them from the fight.
Yeah, overall, Primal Beast is a fantastic up-tempo hero, and what I didn't mention so far, but what also is true for this hero, is that he can build up uproar charges when he gets attacked. These charges can then be activated to gain extra armor and attack damage. So if you attack him a few times, he gets basically a defensive ability of roaring, which also slows nearby enemy heroes. Depends how many times he got hit, he will slow more and more. That's pretty much the hero for you. See what they're going to pair into this as well. Of course, if you have a big stompy frontliner like this, sometimes it can be nice to have some fragile heroes behind it who can bring a lot of damage, like the glass cannon type heroes sitting behind the Primal Beast. They're probably going to pair up their support hero after this.
Yeah, Dark Willow is still like the most common one to see
Yeah.
alongside something like
10
Primal Beast.
seconds
So I wouldn't be
remaining.
surprised to see that picked up straight away. But they could also go back to this
5
Techies the Boxy has been
seconds
playing.
That's true. That's true. There's also a potential for them. Techies brings a lot of damage. The two of them could kill
Radiant
heroes
team
quite
pick.
easily together. If Primal grabs them and holds them, that gives time for Techies to jump in and follow up Disable. They're gonna go CM. Wow, not really a common second pick like this. So Crystal Maiden is like one of the old school support heroes. She is a great support overall. She gives a slow to the enemy in an AoE using her Crystal Nova. She can also lock one hero in place. It's not really a stun, but it is rooting them in place for 3 seconds so they can't move around. This can still cancel teleports and whatnot. And then you have the Arcane Aura, which gives mana to your team globally. So she just increases the mana region of the entire team. Can be very useful for herself as well, as she gets quite a bit of mana from it. And her ultimate, if you don't pay attention to a CM, she can sometimes take over a team fight with her massive freezing field.
Radiant
It's sort of a
team
CM player's dream to be allowed to channel this, because any single stun or silence stops it. And Crystal Maiden not having a BKB a lot of the time means that it's difficult to get a full channel on this one.
Yeah, usually you'll see them try to play the tree line or hide in fog, try and get this ulti from some kind of obscured place,
10 seconds
or even just have like a Glimmer Cape or a Blink Dagger to give yourself that repositioning tool.
And the hopes of that ulti already are starting to look pretty grim, because we have a Nyx on the enemy team. So there's a funny interaction, not for the Crystal Maiden necessarily, but for Nyx. If CM starts ulting, Nyx can use his third ability, which stuns anyone who deals damage to him, and that will just simply stop the CM ulti. Same can be used against Primal Beast. Even if he grabs someone nearby Nyx, Nyx can spike Carapace,
5
and that will
seconds
stop the
remaining.
Primal Beast. So this is a counter to both the heroes we see so far. He can also walk under the Primal Beast while he's trampling around and use the same ability to stop him.
That combo breaker.
Yeah,
Very
it's
handy
fantastic.
to have.
A very good Nyx game so far.
It is. And Crystal Maiden often picked as a strong laning hero on top of all the abilities that you've been showing here. So potential for Liquid to have a very good safe lane with a Crystal Maiden, because she's quite slow. Movement speed is very low. Very often, very rarely, I guess I should put it, very rarely do we see her as like a position 4 playing the off lane, because the off lane is longer, more distance to cover. Crystal Maiden wants to be tight with her allied hero.
Yeah, she usually wants to play on the safe lane. She's also pretty good at chasing down the opponent on a longer lane for the opponent. So sitting close to her own tower, pairing up CM with something like Ursa or Juggernaut is usually very strong. Any form of laning hero who has good kill potential, even a Slark, wouldn't be too bad with her. But they're going to start by picking up one
10
more ice
seconds
support.
remaining.
That makes 3 out of the
Radiant
4
team
supports picked being ice themed.
Frosty.
It is, winter theme after all, even though they're over in Bangkok and in some warmer country than Sweden, still bringing the cold.
And we're seeing more and more of this as well. When you've got this position where your second pick, you have to pick your 4th hero
10
blind
seconds
into a pick
remaining.
and a double ban situation from the opponents. Heroes like Tiny
5
and Sniper,
seconds remaining.
these mid lane heroes that don't necessarily have hard counters and are able to kind of play their style of gameplay no matter what the situation of the game. Very common picks, because it's just a well-rounded hero. Tiny gets thrown into the mid lane and doesn't really suffer.
Yeah, definitely. He can lane against most things. He is also very tanky. We covered this before, but Nyx wants to assassinate heroes quickly, killing them very fast. So if you have a squishy mid hero, he could be subject to Nyx ganking him. But a Tiny is not gonna die to a Nyx. Even if Nyx gets Dagon, it's still not really gonna cut it. So he will need a lot of help to bring down Tiny. And Tiny plus Primal Beast now already makes a very big front line for Team Liquid. So I'm wondering if they're not
10
thinking something like
seconds remaining.
Brow Ranger for their safe lane or something along those lines, is what I'm
5
considering. A
seconds remaining.
backliner who can do a lot of damage.
Yeah. And a glass cannon damage dealer from behind. Now, Enigma for Paravision. This is a hero that comes up time and time again at LAN events. He's got big ulti that can just single-handedly win team fights, but he's got a lot of other tools in his kit as well.
Yep. So Enigma is a fantastic hero for providing late game. He's absurdly strong in late game, but in laning stage already, he does have these little summons. And the summons are pretty annoying to deal with for heroes that don't have good AoE damage. If they get to hit,
remaining.
I believe it's 6 times or something. 6 attacks to hit. They will split
5
and
seconds
become
remaining.
twice as many. They'll multiply. That only happens once. but that means he can have 6 little Eidolons at the same time,
Radiant team
and
back.
in laning stage they can do quite a bit of damage. So he uses those to farm and also keep himself safe, usually playing behind the Eidolons. And finally, he has a stun that he can click on the enemy that just stuns them several times. So 3 stuns is the normal number, and then if he gets a talent at level 25, it
10
will go up to
seconds
7
remaining.
stuns in a row. Very obnoxious. But more often than not,
5 seconds
we
remaining.
see Enigma being mostly about his black hole, or he goes for a full aura build, becoming tanky and providing survivability for his team.
Yeah, it's like if the enemy has a way to stun him during Black Hole, or more particularly a way to stun into BKB, a debuff immunity piercing disable, then his Black Hole becomes kind of secondary. And yeah, much more focused on building auras and playing with his Eidolons, controlling the map and pushing towers and objectives.
Yeah, but this is the single hero that is probably the most punishing to enemies stacking up, along with Earthshaker. If you're playing against Enigma and you get caught 3 people in a black
10
hole,
seconds
that is just
remaining.
devastating news. And Crystal Maiden cannot stop it. So
5 seconds
even if she
remaining.
freezes you, that will not prevent the black hole from channeling. So you need to be very cautious about your positioning on the side of Team Liquid here.
Yeah, so far they've got Nyx to deal with the Primal Beast and the Crystal Maiden with that Carapace stun. There's Midnight Pulse doing percentage damage against the front line, which you pointed out is very strong from Liquid, gets undone by some of this damage from spells, which do more damage the more health you have. And then Invoker to round things out brings tons of teamfight and more damage into things like the Black Hole or the stun from the Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, and brings a little bit of a Sue element as they have both the Forge Spirits and the Eidolons now to push. Can be very annoying to deal with as well. But the Pango coming out, the last pick for Team Liquid, is a fantastic hero to give more teamfight control for them. Very, very durable draft from Team Liquid overall. 4 melee heroes, all their cores are very tanky. It will be hard for the Nyx Assassin to get some easy kills in this game, even though he has an Invoker with the Sunstrike in his team.
DM even a little look into the camera with a smile, knowing he's playing Enigma. Through this tournament, I mean, not just this tournament, but DM often has this hero banned against him because it is one of his signature heroes, and it is one hero this team uses exceptionally well to take control of the game. As we'll get ourselves ready here for game 3 between these two sides in this best of 5. The race to 3 wins here in the grand final for ESL 1 Bangkok. And I guess the interesting shift as well for Team Liquid is that they moved Tiny into the carry position, which I feel like we very rarely see until we saw Pure do it earlier today.
Yeah, it's, historically been a position that Tiny can cover. And we have seen a trend this LAN. We often talk about LAN trends and the meta evolving when we have a LAN event like this. And it's definitely shifted more towards tanky core heroes. We've seen the Earthshaker carry, we've seen the Magnus carry a lot, and now Tiny as well being played quite a bit. So the safe laners just feel like it's risky to die, man. You don't want to be that squishy little Drow Ranger perhaps sometimes.
You want to be a beefy frontliner. Get up in the faces of your opponents. Have fun with a couple of smiley faces from Nisha.
My favorites.
Yeah, both teams getting into it here, and we can basically approach this as a fresh best of 3. If you're now joining us, this is the grand finals. This is a best of 5, but both teams have taken 1 win so far. Very closely matched, these 2 finalists of the event. They've worked hard to get here, and they're delivering some really fantastic Dota for us.
Eidolon's already getting a bit of value. Summons here from the Enigma, scouting out high grounds, seeing what he can see. Already knowing that the Watcher up in the northern jungle was taken and activated. Late smokes from both sides.
Lon keeps scouting as well, running into tower range to see if it gets attacked.
30
Trying to look
seconds
for
left.
if the enemy have any vision. But yeah, the smoke coming out from Paravision looking more like a killing smoke, whereas Liquid, maybe this is a move to get the Primal Beast in position to take the first creep wave. There's a Blood Grenade on him, so I think Saberlight wants to get his hero behind the enemy tier 2 tower. Maybe they're looking for kill. They're going up anyway.
They've got vision up here now. They see Ducalis getting trampled down. 2-man stun from 9 class delays the inevitable first blood and death as Saberlight picks it up. It does mean that he can't go for that sneaky kill on the creep wave, right?
No, he can't get the kill, but it also means that he got a first blood. So early items coming out for him. I believe he bought out a bracer and a salve already, anticipating that he will take some damage and have to heal up. Since he starts out with no regen. This is pretty common in high-level Dota. You see people start out buying as many stat items as possible and then buy tangles or salves with the bounty runes to maximize their strength early on.
Very rarely are you using a salve, before the creeps spawn. Full efficiency out of all the stat items you've got. Even gets handed a tango by Boxy, which you can share. We've not really talked about that either, right? Sharing items in Dota used to be able to share a lot of things, passing items over to each other, but now it's pretty much early regeneration items that you can hand over some.
Yeah. Tis the season of giving, so give your friend, your lane partner, a tango, let him have some regeneration. They do expire in a little while, so you're gonna make sure to use the tango quickly after you get one past you. And this bottom lane does look to be pretty difficult for the Tusk and Primal Beast, going up against a double range lane. Gyrocopter and Lich are both very strong laning heroes.
Invoker mid again for no one. I'm against the Pango.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
A pretty big difference here in the top lane. Nyx Assassin last time with a Lycan in his lane, we said was kind of a weak pairing.
Dire's
And
middle
the Nyx
tower
Assassin
is
had to do a
under
lot of
attack.
lane dragging. Which Boxy is doing exactly down at this bottom lane, not wanting to play directly into the Lich and the Gyro. But now Nyx is with an Enigma up top, Enigma a much stronger laner. Nyx doesn't have to do all this funny business.
Not as much, no. We'll probably still see him try and look for some big creeps in the jungle here and there to get some extra advantage in experience, but I think they could possibly even play aggressively in the lane together. Once this Eidolon split, look at CM. She's out of position, I think, but she gets back to safety just barely. Enigma looking to stun her up.
A lot of damage comes her way, though. Mickey throwing some spells at the Nyx and the Eidolons. Yeah, always going to be a difficult lane to play into here with this DM and 9-class combo.
You have to be cautious when you play summon heroes like Enigma, because if you do die with them, you feed away experience and gold to your opponents. So Enigma has to be a little bit wary about the damage coming out from the Tiny. His third skill allows him to grab a tree and get cleave damage, so he can use that to bring down the Eidolons fairly fast.
Only has a limited number of hits on it, though.
Yeah. Of course, DM, he's no stranger to Enigma, so he's always going to be very cautious about feeding away too many Eidolons. Oh, as I say that, the entire stack of Eidolons got killed. That's a huge chunk of gold. The CM Crystal Novad, and then the Tiny nuked into it, so value in getting those resources.
And this is a strong nuking lane. Once Tiny gets a couple more levels under his belt, he'll have that Avalanche and Toss. That with a Crystal Maiden, you got a lot of nuke damage. Crystal Maiden maybe itching to play down bottom, though. That's definitely potential here for Insania to leave the Tiny alone and play aggressively into the enemy safe lane. And it looks like so far Liquid doesn't need that help. Boxy and Saberlight have taken down Ducalis. And Gyrocopter's trying to give chase on this Tusk, but he's duking around the tree line. Still going to die, though, as the Gyrocopter finds the opening.
Gyrocopter gets faster and faster as he ramps after the enemy. He did take the afterburner facet. Every hero can choose between one or multiple, or two or multiple different facets at the start of the game. The one he took makes him faster every second that he chases after people with the rocket barrage. It does need to hit enemy heroes, though.
It does get very speedy. Right now, sat in front of his tower, so safe place for Crystallis to farm. Not going to be under that much pressure from Saberlight and Boxy. And on the flip side of that coin, Saberlight, in this long lane that he has to run away from Gyro and Lich, has to spend some spells and wait for his salve to come.
Yeah, pretty expensive as well, having to buy all this regen for the Primal Beasts, buying another salve. He already bought one earlier, so losing a bit of resource, but he is doing his best to stay in the lane and get experience. Level 6 is going to be his huge timing.
That mid lane, Nisha on a Pangolier, a hero that I feel like we've not seen an awful lot of recently, but was the most popular hero of the past, 2 years, basically.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Pango has been an incredibly strong hero for a long time now, but right now he's not the centerpiece of mid lane Dota, but he does provide great team fight. He can turn into a rolling ball of thunder, rolling around, just stunning anything he runs into, and also dealing physical damage to him. important to know about Pango is that he does all physical damage. He has 2 different nukes on top of his ulti, both of them dealing physical damage. So low armor heroes will die pretty fast to him.
Having ways to get in and out of fights, super handy. When you're dealing with like a Gyro, a Nyx, and Enigma.
Got it.
Yeah, skirting the edges and poking with your damage can be very handy.
He's also hard to control when he uses the ball, right? Because he cannot be stopped by any spell in this game other than the black hole during it. The Rolling Thunder is giving you debuff immunity the same way a Black King Bar would.
Just super good against Nyx.
Radiant
So often,
are scanning.
you know, Nyx against these mid laners, they roll in or they make some move aggressively, and Nyx just uses Carapace, then stuns them.
Yeah. And we see 6 minutes per clockwork. We see the supports rotating over, controlling the rune spawns.
Rune has to be grabbed by 9 class. Saberlight has dragged his wave all the way through to mid. He's been caught up here by Noah and Ducalis. Foxy and Nisha from the backside going to turn this around, but Ducalis stops Saberlight in his tracks with a sinister gaze to stop the onslaught and the trample. Still going to die though. As Liquid have 4, Paravision only 3. They need a Gyrocopter to join, but the touch from 9 class up the staircase takes down the Pango. So in the end, Liquid lose a mid laner for a support.
We could see the Pangolier rev his car there. He was revving the engine, trying to start it. He gets stunned up by Nyx, and that allowed the EMP from Invoker to land, taking away all the mana from the poor Pangolier. At that point, he couldn't do anything. He could just walk around, can't cast any spell. So he was pretty much useless in that fight due to the EMP taking away mana. And also important to note, when the EMP takes away mana from people, Invoker gains mana. So it is stealing away some mana.
There's all the Invoker spells for you.
Yeah. Good luck reading all the Invoker spells. If you want a hero that truly takes a little bit of time to master and learn, there are people who dedicate themselves to this hero.
I used to be one.
Yeah. I believe Sunia has 8,800 Invoker games, and considering your average Invoker game can take, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes at least, even if you're counting generously. There are some people who make it their entire focus.
That's a lot of games. Nice little play in the mid lane, though, we just saw from the Invoker. Using Tornado there to kind of stop the Pango spell from landing. Pangolier using Shield Crash. Usually he wants to kind of jump forward, land on an enemy hero, land on a creep wave, do damage, and give himself a shield for the enemy heroes he hits. The Tornado from Invoker stops him mid-air, and Pango's spell only really works on landing. So if he doesn't land with the spell and he gets sent skywards again, you don't get the bonus effect.
And again for the 8-minute rune, you see people coming in. Parking rune grabbed up by the Pango, but taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, this time the shield crash lands and he gets off the Rolling Thunder. Under the sentry, they see the Invoker, but he's next to the cliff, which means when he gets bombed by the Pango roll, gets knocked to the low ground. So no one is safe, and the turn onto this Pangolier gets the takedown on Nisha and the black hole. There's DM arriving with a nice ultimate to take down another couple of Liquid heroes. Tiny made the rotation in to just die.
Oh my god, what an enormous fight for them. The Nyx Carapace landed right as the Pango ulti ended. So he gets the Pango kill, tipping him immediately afterwards. And as you mentioned, DM with a great positioning, getting the first black hole connecting without any blink tag or anything like that. He did have drums, so that allowed him to get in position a little bit faster. But beautiful stuff for him.
And early involvement, like from all of these Paravision cores. Gyrocopter getting across the map into that mid lane. Now he goes back down bottom, and with the help of this Lich, the Gyrocopter is like 1v3ing. Ducalis offering a little bit of help, but the snowball over the top of the Gyrocopter, not enough damage to finish him off. And Crystallis, let's see if Pango can take him down. The answer's no so far. Nisha could get turned on here, but he's going to go for another Rolling Thunder. So using the ultimate to beat, catch up, and kill the Gyrocopter off. Fancy footwork not going to pay off there for Crystallis, no matter how many times he pirouettes. And Nisha is going to follow through here with a bit more damage on Ducalis. Minecraft and his positioning. They're going to be able to do more damage back onto this Primal Beast after losing their Lich. Foxy and Nisha, though, keep giving chase, and Nisha's grabbed up a triple kill. A few more stuns and a bit of control here from Saberlight. The 1 HP Primal Beast gets the ulti off, is going to die eventually, but they get an ultra kill for Nisha.
A 9-minute ultra kill? What is happening this game? He just died before that as well. Kills being traded back and forth. Aggressive stuff. This is the type of stuff you want to see on the grand final stage. Nisha still very happy with that, and
Radiant's
tips coming in
middle
for
tower is under
Nisha.
attack.
What a comeback for
Tremendous
him.
turn of events from them. This was Paravision
Yeah.
building the lead, and suddenly Nisha comes out with an ultra kill.
I was just about to say, this Pangolier is going to struggle a little bit to come back in the game, and suddenly he's #1 in net worth. He's absolutely enormous at this stage. For an Echo Saber, gonna be a nice build to allow him to get double hits in. Whenever you attack, you echo the attack and attack again on a little cooldown.
Even just thinking about like the out-of-game effects of that morale boost, right? Losing a big team fight, getting black holes, your tiny dies, your cores die, and then 2 minutes later you come back and have as good a team fight back into your opponents as you were given. Paravision still keeping this high-tempo gameplay going though, playing top with 3 heroes, but they don't have black hole, they don't have the Nyx Assassin nearby anymore, and they've left no one stranded here.
And Insaniac, we gotta see him channeling ulti. It wasn't a massive ulti on multiple targets, but you take what chances you can get to get that damage in as a CM. And they get a big takedown on the Invoker, who just died before this, so that's back-to-back deaths for him. Definitely slowing his tempo a bit.
Radiant are scanning.
9 Class is going to do what he can to farm up,
Radiant's bottom tower
vacuum up
is
some
under
creeps
attack.
behind Liquid's lines. And Nyx Assassin is very adept at doing. And a bonus gold off the map.
I want to take a second as well to just, welcome anyone who's in here tuning into newcomer stream, the beginner friendly stream. So if you have any questions about what you see or what's going on or what someone should do in their position, feel free to ask. We'll try and cover that as well.
Yeah, it makes our job easier. We like answering questions. We don't have to think about the questions ourselves.
There's just so many things to think about, and we take a lot of stuff for granted as we have played and focused on this game for decades, whereas someone with fresh eyes can sometimes give the right question.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, some questions like, what are those purple potions? That kind of catches us off guard because we're like, they're smokes. If you're new, you don't know.
Exactly. Right now we see the game slightly slowing down a bit, but still they're brewing, they're looking for things. 9 Class walking around looking for kills. He does have the Vendetta on the Nyx, so he can sneak around stealthily if he wants to, but he's holding it as a reaction. So if they go on him, he clicks Vendetta, that gives him free pathing and haste movement speed for 15 seconds. So he can quickly get out of there if he gets in trouble. DM being smoked on right now. He did hold the high ground, but still might get caught.
Snowball's going to bypass the tornado, but puts them into the black hole. PM kind of handed this one. Nisha still trying to fight back into them, though. Get some good damage onto the Enigma, but he's running out of gas right now. Backup is coming. The Tiny and the Primal Beast are arriving on the scene of the crime with a toss forward of the Primal Beast. Tiny sends him forward. The Avalanche stuns the Nyx Assassin, but 9 Class still slips away. Chain Frost bounces back at the Mickey, and Paravision, they turn. Get some huge kills, 4 in a row with Team Liquid with the aggressors, and they get turned on and slain.
This is so back and forth, but that was definitely, like you said, handing it a little bit to the Enigma. They're rolling onto him. There was nothing to stop the black hole, and DM just having a fantastic game so far. The impact from his Enigma is already being felt. So someone has hero-wise who's got the advantage. A little bit hard to say who's got the advantage overall in the draft. I think both teams have great strengths to them, but I would say that the Paravision lineup scales better into late game. The Enigma is one of the most dangerous heroes in the late game that we have in Dota, out of all the heroes you could possibly draft. So pairing that up with some of the stuff they have in their team as well, I think it's more on Liquid to take over the game and try and close out the game before you get past the 30-40 minute mark.
Try to hit some critical mass. You explain the Pango Echo Saber. Is that still a feature that we have with Echo and Pango in his swashbuckle?
You mean you can slow with swashbuckle, that's true. A few heroes in the game can use Echo Saber to trigger on their spells, and to my knowledge it still works on the swashbuckle. I don't think that was removed.
Okay, so basically what usually happens is this Echo Saber is like a double hitting sword, right? You go up and it gives you a double tap, whack whack, and slows the opponent. But with Swashbuckle, the first spell of Pangolier applies on attack effects and doesn't put the Echo Saber on cooldown.
Yeah, so it slows the enemy without Echo Saber going on cooldown, so then you can hit them again afterwards, slowing them even more, making it a pretty good item for Pango. And he just really likes the stats that it gives otherwise. 20 damage, 15 strength, and some mana regen. All are great things for him.
Yeah, hanks him up, helps him out a lot.
Bottom lane, we have Primal Beast out of position.
Meteor from the Invoker burns him. And Boxy's Snowball not able to save the Primal Beast as the Tusk is going to get tornadoed, but let free, allowed to run away. Paravision knowing the danger is coming. There are rolling thunder from his Pangolier causing issues with the freezing field here. No one taking a decent chunk of damage after Mickey's arrival and will get finished off. DM now being run at as well. And again, a back and forth game where both teams just throw the kitchen sink at each other. Boxy's going to punch the Enigma, but he's got full shield on him, stays alive, gets him at a distance, but is finished off in time. Mickey now can turn around and pick up a triple kill for himself. But Tiny showing up hot in this fight as Paravision, again, thinking they've got the upper hand, but Liquid bring the pain.
Liquid are relentless. Even though they lost some previous fight, they're not getting discouraged from taking these engagements and get a huge amount of kills there, getting Invoker and Enigma really big takedowns, especially Enigma who didn't die a single time yet. Someone also asked, what's the counterplay to Enigma BKB in this game? Of course, if Enigma has BKB, he can channel the Black Hole and it's very hard to stop. They do have a few things they can do against it though. For instance, if you get Basher on Pango, the Swashbuckle can trigger the Bash. That's one of the best things they can do against it. Otherwise, you can theoretically cancel it with like a Walrus punch through the BKB, but if the Enigma places the Black Hole on top of himself, you can't get close enough to punch him.
Pulverize with extended cast range as well.
Ethelin's Primal Beast coming in, get some extra cast range.
There's a neutral item called Telescope, which gives AoE cast range to your teammates, which can help.
Yeah.
Or what about Tiny with a Basher? Can he throw his tree and bash on that on-hit effect?
He could.
Radiant's top tower
But
is under
unlikely we'll
attack.
see a Basher as Pango's or Tiny is very slow attacking here. But these are possibilities, right? Sometimes you get desperate for a way
Radiant's
to
top
solve the
tower
Enigma,
is falling.
since the hero is so threatening in late game. But I would say Pango is going to be your best bet, that he gets maybe an
middle
Aghanim's
tower
plus
is under
Basher,
attack.
and then he'll be able to kind of stun people through the BKB.
Yeah, we've had games where heroes like Keeper of the Light and Scarith Mage, who
Radiant's top tower
equivalent
is
to a
under
Lich
attack.
in this game. A Lich or a Crystal Maiden bought a Basher or an Abyssal Blade to stun an Enigma, because that's how desperate they were in some other games.
And then you just pray. You just attack the Enigma and pray that you will trigger a Bash. And hope that the RNG gods smile
Radiant's
upon you.
middle tower
Gotta
has
hope.
fallen.
Just gotta hope. 12 to 12, no network lead in it. Again, we've got ourselves in a very tight, close-fought game. Game number 3 here, but Liquid are the ones stepping out across the river. They're the ones setting up for potential moves and feeling like they're more ready than Paravision are right now.
It makes sense. Their draft is extremely early game oriented.
Radiant's top
The
tower is
Pango
under attack.
plus Primal plus Tiny, that tricore all screams like we're strong early game. We don't need too many items. We want to go now. Whereas Gyrocopter, he wants to hit creeps and get a little bit bigger. Whereas Enigma as well wants to scale into that late game. Just have Pipe finished on an Enigma, so he can block a lot of magic damage right now for himself and teammates with that.
BKB Gyro as well. Fristless showing up to this mid lane kind of ready to fight, and Liquid scattering to the edges of the map, looking to use the outskirts to their advantage and get some farm going while staying safe away from Paravision. Might get hunted down here. Assassin on the tail of the Pangolier. Snowball save though, gets him out of the Sunstrike, but not out of the Black Hole. DM places it perfectly.
Yeah, and the Lich ulti with them right next to each other, squeezed together by the pole of a black hole. That is as close as you can have two heroes, and Lich ulti will quickly bounce them and deal a ton of damage. Invoker.
This is, yeah, still looking. I mean, Paravision, using that Black Hole, they would want to get a little bit more. They'll go for this Primal Beast with the EMP and the catch on Saberlight. Plenty of damage to take him down. Kind of important for Paravision to get that bonus kill, because when Liquid respawn, they know that Black Hole is down along with Chain Frost, and there's this window that Liquid have to exploit.
That's a great thing that you pointed out. Black Hole, as powerful as an ability that it is a very, very long cooldown. It is 170 seconds still at level 2 and scales down to 160 at its max level. That's still a huge timing window, and normally how you play against Enigma is you take a fight, okay, maybe we dive to Black Hole, but then immediately go again. You cannot be discouraged. So look for Liquid to stay aggressive on the front foot here and play tempo.
Net worth tiny
Radiant's
is a
top
scary
tower
thing.
is under attack.
Yeah, he's getting big and queued up on a BKB on his own because so much magical damage coming in from Paravision. Of course, any game where you're against Invoker, I almost feel like you have to go for that item. There's too much otherwise. The Cold Snap and the Tornado alone, you just can't play Dota into it. And their timing is gonna be pretty damn big once they have the BKB on Primal and on Tiny, and debuff immunity already built in on the Pangolier. Again, we see the early Tormentor, this time by Paravision. It was Liquid in the previous game, right? So he took the super early Tormentor.
No, it's Paravision.
Oh, it was Paravision, yeah. True.
20 minutes and 20 seconds, then 30 minutes and 40 seconds, whatever it
Are
was.
scanning.
You're right. So they're sort of doing this methodically, just making sure to get value of Tormentors ASAP. Which is, you know, on paper, good play. It's just not always easy to employ that into a game.
Well, they forgot the Wisdom Rune, though.
Yeah, well, I don't think they forgot. They felt the smoke coming, so they're gonna concede that.
Looks like they might still lose the Nyx Assassin as fast as he is. Getting a Primal Beast tossed on you hurts. But while Liquid invaded and stole the Wisdom Rune of their opponents, DM sent some summons to go and deny the Wisdom Rune on the other side. But because he was kind of out there on the map, Nisha has found an opening here to push around this Enigma.
Is under
Gets on
attack.
top of DM, a lot of damage comes his way, and the finishing touch is in there from Nisha. Now Paravision's going to bring heroes to fight back, but they'll lose the Khaled immediately. And Chrysalis, who's Gyrocopter, he's got the BKB and try and run. The Sunstrike is good damage to allow Chrysalis at least to turn and fight to get a kill, but he's stuck in the shards. The Untrap now into the snowball, and Tiny, he can get more damage in to kill the enemy carry.
That was a very aggressive dive onto the Enigma, realizing that they could go on him, and it was also a perfect timing. The Enigma Black Hole was still on cooldown for 10 more seconds when they went on him, so he could not Black Hole the Pango even if he wanted to. No way to stop him from going in and getting that kill. And while you have a pipe on Enigma to block magic damage, keep in mind what I said earlier. Pango is all physical, so he did not protect himself very well from that.
Think
Dire's
about
middle tower
starting
is under
Roshan.
attack.
Now, this is where you talked about players keeping tabs of things in the game, right? Buyback timers, cooldowns of spells. Liquid will know that Black Hole is back up again. So not wanting to fight in the Roche Pit against Black Hole, they will fall back. Of course, under the cursory vision of this Nyx Assassin, he's scouting every step of the way and getting a catch on the Pango over the toss. The save, now the roll up. Nisha, he's been bought time by Mickey. What a play!
That was really nice, tossing him out of the Sunstrike, combo breaking the enemy team. Mickey just on point. And then we see Pango using his Shard, which is a quick roll-up that gives him immediate debuff immunity, but he has no control over where he rolls, and it's also short duration. But during that, he then casts his ulti to go into the actual car mode where he can run around. Still though, they use their abilities. The roll on cooldown does give a clear light here for Paravision to go into the Roche Pit and get themselves the first take down on the Roche and get the Aegis over on the Gyrocopter.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Powerful shield that can protect the wheels from death. No, I was reading.
There you go. You can continue.
No, I lost my place now. God damn it.
Script?
Is that script doing it?
Yeah, our Observer pranking Gareth a little bit. Oh, to Observer. He's doing a great job following along with, you know, this is a bit different than a regular cast. We're talking about different talking points.
Our scatterbrained rambling.
Yeah. It's like
so many things.
Why are we looking at this?
Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, there's someone
is under
dying over
attack.
here. Why are we explaining the mechanics of the Nyx Assassin forced after the high ground?
Stuff coming out from the Lich, having that save ability, making sure to keep his friend safe. So 2,000 gold lead for Paravision, but still a very closely matched game. Aegis does give some time to farm safely on the Gyrocopter, and this is also what I was talking about earlier. I think they want to take this game late. Paravision want to just drag it out, whereas Team Liquid, we have seen it already in the intention, how they play. Always looking for kills, hunting. Let's see if they aim up for some more moves here, pushing down bottom.
Radiant's
And
bottom
it's not just,
tower is
taking
under
the game
attack.
late for the sake of taking the game late,
Dire's
right?
top
It's
tower is
the fact
under
that
attack.
Gyrocopter scales nicely. We've already mentioned that with his itemization, kind of hitting that later timing on him. But I think also the fact you've got Enigma, who is such a good late game hero, because we've talked about this cycle of Dota, right? Where you're cycling Roshans, you're getting Rosh, using Aegis, pushing tier 2 towers, waiting for next Rosh to get that next advantage.
Dire's top
And the
tower
buyback
has
situation, which I think is key here. Enigma, very good in these buyback versus dieback scenarios, where you black hole someone, or black hole a couple people, they have to buy back to return to the fight, and you potentially have a refresher orb, which refreshes that black hole cooldown, so you have another one to kill buyback heroes.
Yeah, definitely. And that's also why taking Rosh was important, to start the Rosh count. The first Rosh can only drop Aegis. Second Rosh, you only get the Aegis and the banner. Then you can start looking into maybe getting Magnum Scepter or a Refresher Shard coming out of Rosh. And those things are huge for a team with Enigma.
Roll up again for the Pango. Just a bit of vision here on the Lich. Through 4 staffs. Closer to the enemies, unfortunately for him. And Crystal is also in harm's way, so first life down. Now Paravision looking to respond. A good stun to catch on the time. Crystal and DM, they move into the black hole. DM not going to get cancelled here, so the Sunstrike and the damage of the mid-gate is not good enough, but the snowball save buys some time. The Tiny can turn and fight now. They're going to pummel into this Gyrocopter with Sablelight's Primal Beast, but the Chain Frost bounces between them, gets the takedown on Mickey and El Saberlighto, while 9 Class hunts the Crystal Maiden in the back.
Oh, CM not gonna get away from this one, I'm afraid. Trying her best to outrun these heroes, but you're not outrunning a Vendetta, Nyx. But you do kill him together with your Tusk, so Tusk goes in. We'll die for this, but at least got a kill beforehand.
Triple kill!
It's a triple to no one, though.
Triple kill on Invoker.
Oh, but look at top.
Crystallis? That was greedy play. He went top after, he had 200 HP after that fight, and he went to the lane. He crossed over the Observer Ward on his path to the top. He now pings out. There must be a ward, guys. But that was a little bit cheeky by Crystallis, trying to go farming with no HP at all.
Super unexpected. Nisha just gets a freebie.
Enormous
Feels good
kill
moment. Nice little roll up to dodge the EMP. And even going aggressively here. Onto no one's Invoker. Primal Beast charging over the cliff tops with his onslaught. Throws some rocks. They don't connect. With Ducalis on his Lich, making a hasty retreat for now.
That's of course the shard for Primal Beast. He does get the ability to just yeet some rocks over, and those rocks will stun the target if they connect. They're pretty hard to land, as it takes a little while before you can
Dire's
throw
middle
them.
tower is under attack.
Sometimes you can farm even creeps like this with Primal Beast. His ulti is super low cooldown. He's basically the opposite of an Enigma. He has 30 seconds on his ulti cooldown.
I like that question from chat. When is it better to rush Blink or Pipe on Enigma? So what changes the item decision from Enigma in game to game?
Yeah, so that generally comes down to what your idea of how you want to fight is. In this game, he feels like it's risky for him to go a Blink rush. He probably would still get his BKB or his Blink Black Hole cancelled, and he would be so squishy that any jump from these Blink daggers would kill him quickly. So instead, he's going for a tanky route, going for the drums and the pipe, giving him a ton of survivability. It's definitely a big question, and something you will just find over time with experience. But in this game, DM, being an Enigma expert, he says that, you know what, I don't need Blink. He went for 4 staff, interestingly, to be able to reposition, perhaps get out of the Tusk shards or use it aggressively.
Kite around the Tiny.
Yeah, usually you see Blink daggers. 4 staff is quite rare on Enigma, but in this game,
usually
very good.
Usually that Blink rush is an investment into aggression, right? You blink, your first black hole has got to pay off, whereas the pipe is much more consistent
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
value from an item. DM, the pipe so far with the 1 charges keeps him alive against the initiation from the Pangolier, but boxing out the follow-through control, kill him off.
Yeah. Meanwhile, opposite side of the map, a little bit of a skirmish between No One and Saberlight, forced Saberlight to use his BKB. Does get away to safety, but with that on cooldown, Lich is kind of looking for him. Glimmering Ing, sneaking in and setting up.
Radiant's middle tower
Sunstrike.
is under attack.
Bit of damage from this Invoker. Be able to finish him off. But that one even BKBing there, as they'll make their escape back to Fountain.
sort of anticipating that there would be a reaction to them diving that close to a tier 2 tower, but we see all of Liquid just saying, you know what, if you're dead bottom, you're dead bottom. We're going to play top, take over this area, which is, you know, very bountiful farming lands, getting some ancient creeps.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's courier.
Tiny is going to happily keep farming away. He's building towards a Kanda in this game, so going for the crit build. Will also do a bunch of damage if he throws a tree at someone or tosses people.
Dire's
And one of these heroes in a specific role that requires the Aghanim Shard, really, isn't it?
So Aghanim Shard allows Tiny to keep wearing this sword kind of looking thing in this game. Picks up a tree and uses it to whack people. He just has some cool cosmetic that gives him a granite sword. Looks really cool.
Next, we've seen some heroes and players going to wait for Tormentor to give them Shard, but as quickly as possible. That's going to catch him to Carlos down in the bottom jungle.
So Liquid's still doing pretty well for themselves overall, but I think they're feeling a little bit stressed with how the game is going. We're 30 minutes into the game, they have not taken a single tier 2 tower, and Paravision are ahead net worth-wise. Paravision again. I mean, we're seeing this over and over from them. 10 minutes, they're gonna be there again. Take that Tormentor. I feel like Liquid maybe should start picking up on the pattern here and, you know, try to punish it. Be in that position to maybe go and take a fight, because if you're taking Tormentor and the opponents are on you, that is very, very scary. You could die very easily.
Oh, for sure.
You could
at least get their own
form as well. Yeah, both teams kind of getting those shards early.
Oxy up top. He blows up 9 class with the help of Saberlight. The tipping going on there onto 9 class, who has definitely been vocal with his chat wheel lines and all chatting and tipping.
Definitely, it's a two-way street. He responds with the talentless. One of the best voice lines. You just have to play Nyx until you get silver tier, and you can spam talentless in all chat. So
Tango just
Nisha?
using a million hits.
Yeah. I mean, Pango having the Assault Cuirass, he can hit extremely fast. He has the Defiant Shell, which is similar to Echo Saber, allowing him to
That's
attack.
what it was.
Yeah, he attacks back immediately if he gets attacked, and then he has Echo Saber making him hit an extra time when he attacks. So he can triple hit basically very rapidly if he runs into someone and they attack him. And then Assault Cuirass gives a ton of attack speed and also a bunch of armor. So
Radiant's bottom
already
tower
looking
is
at
under
40
attack.
armor on the Pango. Pretty hard to
Radiant's
burst this hero
structures
now.
are fortified.
Yeah, and a bit of a different item build as well. Usually we'd see that Basher we talked about, or something
Dire's
more
middle
damage
tower is
oriented,
under
but
attack.
Assault Cuirass kind of covers a couple of
Radiant's
bases
bottom
there.
tower has fallen.
Instead of waiting with the Basher, I think we'll still probably see it in a gear capped inventory. If he gets all the way to 6 slots, then he'll probably buy it. But definitely
Dire's top
prioritizing
tower
tankiness
is
and
under attack.
survivability,
Radiant are
which their
scanning.
team, that's basically the motto of the team. 4,000 HP on the Tiny, with Primal Beast running around,
Dire's
who's pretty tanky
structures
as well.
are
All of them very durable.
Dire's top tower is under
You've
attack.
got to be with the amount of damage that Paravision bring to the table. It can't all just be raw HP. These hit points can be undone by the Midnight Pulse. He finds 9 class basically in his base. Back
That's
in
a
that bottom lane.
scary
Dire's
threat of a
top
Tiny
tower is
blinking you.
under
He
attack.
tosses you up in the air, disables you immediately, throws down the avalanche, doing a ton of damage, and when you land, you disappear. And he has been bursting people for many, many years, and he will continue to do so. With the Kanda, that's a lot of extra damage into that as well.
Gyrocopter on the other side of things, starting to hit his stride as well, though. Aghanims, Satanic, BKB, the trifecta of key items on this hero.
Someone asked the question, Aghanim Scepter on Primal Beast, is it a must or just a must late game item? I would say it's a bit of a luxury item that late game I would definitely agree, you really want to have it, but he has not opted to go for it yet on Primal Beast, and he's queuing up a Sanjiasha even, so not going that route yet. It
Or
depends what
specifically if you want to
play
break
against,
someone,
though.
right?
Yeah, if you play against a Bristleback or a Spectre, something that you want to break to take away their defensive capabilities, then it can be a must-buy item. In this game, that's not really true. There's nothing to break in this game at all, basically. So it's not that relevant. It would just be purchased for damage.
Can you break Side Gunner from Gyro's Ags?
You can. It is breakable, actually, yeah.
Okay.
So that's at least something, but it's usually
Radiant's
defensive
middle
tools that you
tower
want to
is
get rid of,
under
not
attack.
the stuff that's aggressive like that. guess you could say that with Satanic, Side Gunner is defensive. It keeps healing you passively as a gyrocopter. Life stealing on those attacks.
Liquid invading all that shard placement. Voxu, he's found an opening here. Launch Crystal is in place. Forces the BKB. He's just going to roll in now. As Crystal is gone, but the Polaroid comes just in the nick of time. Where's he gone? Disappears off my screen for a while. Now the roll back in from Nisha. Finds kill on Crystal at long last. I know I closed, I blinked, and I lost track where the gyro was, and the black hole from DM can't lose track of that. The big ulti from the Enigma catches 3 off inside, but Liquid is still alive. Nicky's on the left-hand side, killed off by Eidolons at long last, while Nisha loses the first life by the tier 3. Tusk is dead, so's the Maiden, so it's Pango against 2 heroes here. Sableye can rejoin.
Stones get thrown in here. Primal Beast floats in.
Pulverize the next assassin, and the damage from Nisha. Is it enough? With the final touch of the shield crash landing, he gets the kill and the gem.
Nisha with some slick moves too. Very quickly backpacked his bottle, picked up the pick up the gem and blinked out. He did all that in a fraction of a second. Very good recognition that we should take this gem and get out.
Damn, I wanted to watch back on the stream what happened, because that gyrocopter with was it the pulverize, like lifted them up and made him disappear?
I think it happens when you like tusk punch someone during the pulverize or something. It can make them look extremely weird because you lift them up and then you still swing them back and forth. Dota is a game with 3 dimensions, and heroes high up in the sky can look a little bit weird when you move them around.
That's Z-axis, man.
Yeah. Very confusing to look at. Enigma did farm under vision, so he's gonna have to back up. Get caught.
Another question from chat. Can I know how to use smoke? Like when and where, what situation smoke should be used properly in?
So generally, it's good to smoke when you have the lanes pushed out decently, so that you don't have any creep waves hitting your tower anywhere. That I would say is like a basic prerequisite. And then secondarily, it's great if you already have some vision of a target that you want to go towards, or an area you want to go towards. Because if you just smoke blindly and don't know where to go, that can just be wasting time. But if you have a deep ward planted, you see an enemy farming somewhere, ideal timing to just smoke and head over there. Or if you know Roshan is about to be contested, you can smoke your team so you don't get spotted.
Proving problematic for Liquid though, they still try to kill off no one's Invoker, who is surviving some way, somehow. Deafening Blast disarms the Tiny, so he can't punch anymore. Has to rely on that toss to finish him off. Down on Paravision though, as Liquid kill the Invoker and 2 supports, forcing a couple of buybacks already. And again is this window. Enigma has no black hole, so DM's usefulness in these fights very low. On both Auras and Eidolons, and that's pretty much it, so he's dead. No big ulti to come. And Paravision, they're still going to poke here at the Pangolier. Good start of the Sunstrike, finishes off Nisha. Well executed team fight combo.
Yeah, they did spend 3 buybacks. They need to get some exit kills before Liquid run away with this. Oh, Insignia almost gets over to the Wisdom Rune. They ping it up like, go take the Wisdom before you die. But CM, not the fastest hero in Dota. Didn't quite get over there.
Are scanning.
Primal Beast found a region rune, so he can stay on the map. Saberlight was really low, but stays on the map and looks to get something done. He has gems, so he will see when the Invoker comes close to him. He's gonna get himself to safety. Pretty expensive team fight for Paravision there. Even though they won the fight, you can see the net worth difference now. 7,000 lead for Liquid. Very happy with the kills they got.
Another catch. Next assassin no longer has that freedom of scouting.
I mean, Tiny has just been the hard counter to him, right?
I do get on with Tiny. Mickey doesn't have a tree anymore. He's already thrown it and has to use BKB to escape Chrysalis and no one. Foxy with the shards trying to block them away as well. It looks like Paravision are going to turn onto this Tusk and try and slay him as the Tiny slip from their grasps.
Good kills at least coming out from getting a Tusk on Chrysalis. It's always something, so make sure they're not gonna lose too much with the Nyx being dead and no buyback. No one is desperately hunting for the Saberlight kill. He wants to get that gem. Not quite gonna be able to kill him though, as Primal Beast does have BKB ready whenever he wants to as well. Can easily stay safe. hi guys, I wanted to know, is there any step on destroying towers or no? When can I push a tower and what tower should I push? Thank you. So generally, tier 2 towers and onward will have backdoor protection if there are no creeps nearby. You always want to go with a creep wave if you can. And overall, you do have to take the first tower, you know, farthest out from the base first. Otherwise, you cannot go for the next one. And try to time it with your teammates being nearby. Going alone and pushing a tower, always a dangerous thing to do. And if you can, even time it to the 10-minute marks, or the 5-minute marks rather, where catapults will spawn. Like right now, with catapults on the creep waves. So that gives a little extra damage to take down towers quickly.
Yeah, definitely a question with a lot of answers, right?
Yeah.
You've also got, you know, different things where you could have someone with summons, like this Enigma could send Eidolons just at a tower and do little bits of damage, and that all adds up over time. And then, you know, after a couple of minutes, you can go in with your full set of heroes and finish it off. Like a lot of Dota is kind of setting things up for later, right? You want to chip away at stuff and then go for the finishing blow afterwards.
And overall, you could also say that the team that is stronger or ahead is generally the team that wants to push towers. If you're behind, it can be a dangerous thing to fight on the tower. So Maiden breaks the smoke.
Primal Beast is tiny. On top of his lich. They're going to take him out quickly. This black hole is only on the Primal Beast. So Nisha and Mickey on the Pango and Tiny can still have freedom in this fight to choose the targets they want. Chrysalis, though, is offering a lot of damage. Mickey has the BKB to dodge away from the Invoker. And the fact that Primal Beast has brought back means Liquid kind of desperate to keep the fight going. With a couple of heroes low on HP, Tiny's nearly dead. Foxy's going to come across to try and save him with the Snowball to dodge the flat cannon hits. But he gets Snowball onto Chrysalis. The blink from Mickey doesn't get him far enough away. So the buyback from the Primal Beast doesn't save the fight for Liquid. They still lose their Tiny.
Ooh, that is a very costly fight for Liquid. Investing a lot into this. I think they might be able to get out though. Invoker's still hunting. No one is just always giving chase, looking for more kills if he can find it. It's Invoker rushing around. Did they also recover the gem in that fight, or was it passed on? I think it was passed on and saved. Yeah, we have it on the Pango again. Well, previously was on the Primal Beast, but Pango happy to have it.
I honestly thought that fight was going to go better for Liquid. With Black Hole just on Saberlight.
I think Gyrocopter is making a big appearance in these fights now, right? You have Tiny being pretty strong, but Gyrocopter does more damage AoE to everybody. The Pangolier lost a lot of HP to just the flat cannon hits, the Gyrocopter hitting everyone at the same time. And that's sort of the danger for Team Liquid here, is that they will struggle to outcarry the Gyrocopter as he is getting very, very farmed.
I mean, you talked about it, right? This kind of early to mid-game style draft from Liquid. You know, it can scale into mid to late game, but it's not going to be a full match for Black Hole plus Gyrocopter. These two are world-beating heroes to go late game with.
Yeah, they really are. And Enigma is getting to that point where we start fearing him in late game. He has Blink, has BKB, and is looking to those big items. Roche is being contested. Boxy throws the shard, so they know he's there. Oh, he got hexed up.
Trying to be sneaky. But it has made things easier for his team to come in. They're going to kill on the Lich, and they've delayed Roshan from being taken. Nisha frontlining for his team, but Chain Frost bouncing to the back causes Saberlight issues until he dispatches a 9-class, while Boxy at the Twin Gate being dealt with by the Invoker. The Mickey's jumped over. The Tiny's here with some big cleave damage, tossing them around. They can't finish them off. He's trapped on the wrong side of the charge. Boxy and Nisha trying to get on top of DM now as Saberlight looks at the Invoker for a pulverize and a catch. They've got the stuns, chain disabling these Paravision heroes, and Chrysalis, he's got Satanic Aghanim Scepter, the crits, the damage with the lifesteal, trying to stay alive, but Liquid having too much firepower.
Amazing way to split the fight up there by Liquid. They know that they have to respect the Enigma and these tight, close fights where Gyrocopter is allowed to hit everyone at the same time. So they split up the fight a lot, taking a lot of scrappy little engagements at the same time. And this made it difficult for Paravision. Their lineup thrives on people being close together, and they just got a little bit picked off one by one.
So many like details in these fights as well, because they are so close fought and it was spread out as well.
Yeah. It was also cooldown on Black Hole during the start of the fight there, so he only got it back towards the very, very end. Able to provide too much. Enigma without Black Hole is basically useless in the team fights, like compared to the other heroes. It's so weak.
And now Aegis Tiny There's 4 neutral items coming. Cheese on Pango, so
Radiant's
equivalent
middle
here
tower
of
is under
2
attack.
lives on Tiny and like 1.5 lives on Pango.
Radiant's middle tower.
Definitely a
has
get out
fallen.
of jail free card with the cheese in some regards.
Radiant
And Tiny
structures
just
are
smashing through the
fortified.
buildings, having that butterfly
Radiant's
on
middle
Tiny
tower
hitting
is under
extra
attack.
fast as well. Hero normally hits very, very slowly, so this is fast for a Tiny. This is very, very rapid attacks.
Oh, the amount of damage he's doing. 600 a
Radiant's
hit.
middle tower has fallen.
He's whacking away at the melee racks, disappearing, even using the toss, which does do damage to buildings if you toss something near them.
Well, there goes a mid-set.
bottom tower
The Frost Shield
fallen.
just delaying the inevitable death of the barracks.
Radiant's middle barracks
And
has
buyback-wise,
fallen.
Gyrocopter, the only
Radiant
hero in the game with
structures
buyback
are
right now.
fortified.
Lich and Nyx may get theirs after the cooldown. See if they've got the money for it in a second. Looks like Paravision for now is waiting for Invoker to respawn, hoping that he can come back before the entire base has disappeared.
There's a tanky Tiny. Look at his HP. He's not even moving during this.
And he's got 2 lives.
Radiant's bottom tower
Up to go through.
He's got a counter camera as well.
And they're like, please don't leave, sir.
And they're poking at him. A little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage there. Tornado throws but doesn't connect. Nikkei looking to reset. Back in with Saberlight though. Nikkei has that Aegis, so he doesn't really care about dying the once as long as the rest of the team can get into the back and deal with the threats, which right now is that Enigma from DM holding Black Hole and ready to go. So far, they've lost the Primal Beast for the next Assassin. A buyback on the Lich. Puts Paravision in a decent spot now, so just Black Hole the Pangolier. Nothing to cancel it, so Nisha's dead inside the base.
Dead. 2 poor heroes.
Sprinting too thin.
is under attack.
They've gone a little bit too deep now. 2 core heroes dead and Paravision holding their base.
Run, run, run. Trying to get away from this. He just can't get stunned up. No Sunstrike to follow, though. As Nyx is still on the chase. Can't quite get close enough to the Tusk.
A whole bunch of punches.
He's gonna
Radiant's
stay
top
safe in the
tower is
end
under
on Boxy,
attack.
but 2 heroes dead for a long, long time. Big window for Paravision to get some stuff done.
But their base though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they got their base annihilated. The Tiny pushing power, we haven't really covered that too much, but a big part about Tiny as a hero is that he does a lot of damage to buildings. He absolutely destroys them using his tree grab. Yeah, this game stays exciting all the way through. They had the Aegis, felt confident to go high ground, but losing both the Pango and the Primal Beast. There's a little bit of a timing here back to Paravision. Paravision, their Gyrocopter has queued up a familiar item, Gareth. Not too far away from that big sword. The rapier
Sword for the gyro.
in the quick buy. And Gyrocopter is arguably the best rapier carrier in the game. Because you can have Aghanims and Satanic, so you can keep life stealing even if you get disabled, which is absolutely crazy. And you can hit everything on the field at once. That's basically all you want from a rapier carrier. Tormentor. Oh wow, that's a lot of damage onto the Lich, who has to use Ghost Scepter to stop taking damage. So Tormentors reflect the damage type you're dealing. Since most of the damage was right-click damage, that will be prevented by going into Ghost form. So Ducalis gets himself to safety there.
And that's the
using
same
Ghost.
with all reflection in Dota, right?
Yes. Yeah, Blade Mail is the
Bombs
same.
and Dispersion and Blade Mail.
Yeah, I think Dispersion, no, I think. Dispersion is doing its own damage. But the things that reflect the same damage type, at least I think Dispersion doesn't work that way. Maybe it is, yeah, maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was always doing magic damage, but I could be wrong.
I remember Blade Mail went through a bunch of changes where it was like, I do magic damage, I do split damage, I do composite damage, I do the damage that you did to me.
That's usually a tricky thing about mechanics. Like, you know that it worked in one way sometime, and then, you know, it's been changed throughout the years and maybe changed back, so it makes me double question myself on these,
Yeah, and then sometimes
things.
the wiki page is wrong as well.
Yeah, you may actually be right that the Spectre perhaps reflects the damage type. I'm not 100% on that one.
Yeah, I've got no idea.
But either way, it's a nice little thing to know, at least for the Tormentor. That does mean if you take Tormentor and you have Crimson Guard on your team, you can block
Radiant
all the
are
damage pretty
scanning.
much by just pressing Crimson Guard.
How do you get wood?
That is a
How
great
does one
question.
obtain lumber?
Sorry, you have outed yourself. This is a newcomer stream. You've outed yourself being as old as I am. Yeah, a throwback. Recipes in Dota used to cost wood, which you couldn't achieve. They were just there to show what you need to buy.
What do you mean? You buy Ogre Axe and you cut the tree down.
Yeah. Running into each other. Crystallis with the rapier is shredding the primal.
Damage onto the primal beast. He's got buyback, but Liquid turn tail and run quickly.
Dire are scanning.
Helicopter, Divine Rapier. Paravision sensing blood in the water now. Hunting. Class looking forward.
He has the gem himself now, so not scared of the enemy having true sight. Oh, Nisha being looked at. Carapace not going to be able to stun him yet, and his friends are a little bit far away. As all of Liquid run together towards the Tormentor, Nyx is going to think better about chasing that deep into enemy territory. And here we see a Tormentor being taken, but all of them had Shard. So now it says they get 280 gold each, plus the 250 lasted gold. So you get a ton of gold for taking that Tormentor still. Everyone except for Gyrocopter. Yeah, I mean, this is representing Dota being like a super late game every game. This is not very common. This has been a wild tournament and wild series overall. Especially
these two teams. Like, I feel like I saw the main stream, the main panel, talking about Liquid's average game time being like 35 minutes. When they played against Falcons, Falcons' average game time was like 42, and Liquid was like 34. So Liquid's average game time has been increased massively by this series already.
Yeah, not today. It's not 30 minutes, I can tell you. It feels like we're always going the distance, going the hour mark. But as mentioned early on in the draft and, by us, I really favor Liquid's draft going later into the game. They're 8,000 gold behind, and yes, they're desperate going for the Rapier on Gyrocopter, but we still have the potential for Enigma to get that Refresher Orb, for instance, for a double BKB, double Black Hole. And
Wait, do you prefer Paravision or Liquid?
Oh, sorry, Paravision. Yeah, I may have misspoke. Yeah, Paravision is the team that I prefer. Sorry, it's long days here. Yes. My mind gets scrambled.
Well, I misheard you as well. I'm just making sure.
I probably misspoke. Yeah, I prefer the Enigma lineup. Let's say it that way. The team with the Enigma Gyrocopter going late game usually are favored against most things.
Liquid going to use one of these smokes to put themselves in a good position for the next Roshan. It's daytime, 3 minutes until nighttime, and Roshan could be up right now. There is another minute and a half to go, though. So a bit of head-to-head here as they break the smoke and make a jump. Mickey, that's a catch on 9 class, and his next assassin, but the final beast in the back. He got stunned up, nearly killed. The Gyro Rapier going to work. Gets away from danger, as does Nisha's Pangolier. But the roll has ended, so it's done to jump. Husk has jumped in and he's immediately finished the game, and the Black Hole is there to solar the Pangolier down.
Wow, Carlis with that huge reaction. I think he pre-clicked it. Oh, going to try to kill him.
The double top of the Gyro is nowhere near enough. Split stands strong, stands tall, turns and kills the Crystal Maiden. A double kill for him.
Did they have it? Oh, could have killed the Tiny if they had it available there, but I think it was on cooldown still for the Invoker.
And a double buyback from Liquid.
It's not over. You can get out. The Pango.
Here, stunned up and killed here, looks like. A dieback from Nisha, dead for 2 minutes.
Oh no. This could be disaster. This could be the end for Liquid. 2 minutes of no Pango. I think he completely overestimated his position. The rest of his team was already running away.
I think he was trying to connect from the river and just gets caught. Hand in the cookie jar,
Yeah, big misplay there for Nisha. He's played really well this game. He's 16, 7, and 10, been involved in a lot of good kills, but dead with no buyback. That's usually how games end at this level. At least we can definitely expect Paravision to go straight towards getting some advantage. They even have Refresher Orb now on the Enigma. So yes, he doesn't have Black Hole ready, but he could, if he wanted to. He could press that button.
Absolutely good. Yeah, good. A little lesson here, as you see at the top, you can tell if someone has buyback around Crystal Maiden's timer. There's a little gold outline. And Pangolier, no gold outline. So Crystal Maiden does have enough money and cooldown to buy back, whereas Pango is missing one of those.
And a little diamond as well. If it lights green, it means the ultimate is ready on that hero. And if it's not lit green, then that means it's on cooldown right now. Good way to get an over.
Actually coming out here to try and defend, but DM has a Black Hole on the Tiny. Good to catch as though trying to smash with Mickey. Tiny dead and buyback forced. Primal Beast also has his available, but not using it yet. Paravision looking at your tier 4 towers, though your base is being destructed by Crystallis. This Gyrocopter forces a glyph out of Liquid. I'll come back a little bit to think about the barracks.
He bought by to take barracks. The glyph is reset.
Tiny's in. My class not dead from the combo. Next Assassin and Enigma stepping forward. With no one in Crystallis here dealing with the buildings. They drop Liquid back to Fountain while the rest of them kill the throne. And Liquid, no real options left. Mickey stuck in the mud, caught in the ice. Back in the Fountain, is trying to hide.
Guys.
No one is zoning them back. But this throne is dying. Crystallis has the damage, and game 3 goes to Paravision.
Yeah, that is so rough. Right now he respawns on Nisha, so that one death shows you if you make one single mistake as a core, step out of line with buyback on cooldown like that, you can immediately expect the enemy team to pounce and take full advantage. Huge game for Paravision. We should see the power. Crystallis is just playing great, by the way. 25 and 14 on his Gyrocopter. A great performance. He went Rapier, but I feel like his team and even I wasn't really worried he was gonna drop it. Felt like he was this unkillable force in the team fights.
Yeah, and picking up on something he said in that content piece, the little interview they had where he's voicing over his team, he said they have some heroes that they pick and you just can't deal with. That's what this Gyrocopter Enigma felt like. You had this inevitability that Enigma and Gyro, if you didn't, you said it right, this kind of early game focus from Team Liquid, if you don't deal with them minute 30, minute 35, it goes past that timer, they have so many chances to take you down.
Team Liquid's turn to ban. Radiant team
These
ban.
players and see what they're bringing to the table. So we have some of the most players in here.
Radiant team ban.
Our observer is having a
Team
snack,
Liquid
and I'm
team
hungry.
ban.
And all I can hear is munching of crisps or something.
He's teasing you. Must be nice living the life
10
on the
seconds
server. You
remaining.
just have to move the camera around.
Radiant
I'm having
team
some fun with us. I've also got a friend joining us. She's been watching. She particularly enjoys Hoodwink. Oh, she doesn't want to be
Very
on
nice.
camera.
10
Doesn't like that at all.
remaining.
But she's sitting on the desk watching all the heroes and my mouse cursor running around the
5
screen as well.
seconds
She's a
remaining.
newcomer to
Team
Dota 2.
Liquid's
Doesn't know
turn
what's
to
happening,
ban.
but she likes to chase the heroes on the screen.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, we've got everyone here for the grand finals as we're
10
heading
seconds
into
remaining.
the game. The players will head into the draft and see what they prepared for this next series
5
coming up,
seconds remaining.
or next game coming up, I should say. We are currently 2-1, so this is a make or break game already. We could have the best of 3 or best of 5 finals ending on this one if Paravision can grab one more win.
A super close fought series as well. It's
Liquid's
anyone's
turn to
game.
Team pick.
We're going to see again more repetition in this ban phase. A Chen, an Alchemist, a Dragonite, a Magnus, a Phoenix. But we start to see the meta develop and evolve, right? Some heroes get higher priority, like the Gyrocopter, who makes his way into the ban pool, as does
10
Jakiro.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a different prioritization here. Paravision
5
did ban, I think, the
seconds
Jakiro in the first game as well, respecting Team Liquid and their potential to
Team
play that.
Liquid's turn to ban. Team
Blitz on the
Liquid's turn to ban.
on the boys here, trying to keep the morale up, making the boys happy. Some jokes and laughs.
I think that's aimed at Saberlight, talking about his Mars, throw the spear, and then do the,
That's his move.
The
Yeah.
pelvic thrust, which
Radiant
Saberlight is
team
well
back.
known for.
Well, he did say in the content piece, that's his thing. He does the move. So we're gonna head into a game with Beastmaster now. A hero that has not been played too many times, but we're also gonna have him as well as the Monkey King joining up.
And Beastmaster, that
10 seconds
offlane
remaining.
hero that brings you a lot of pushing strength. Similar to the, we've seen a lot of Lycan. Beastmaster is the hero that Lycan replaces when Beastmaster is banned.
He's a different zoo hero that can still bring a lot of pushing power with his units. Still might go for the Helm of Dominator, drums, this type of build. Also has the option to go for Aghanim Scepter Rush for that magical damage around him from Drums of Slum, which makes him do AoE damage when he builds up auto attack charges, basically. The more he attacks, the more he slums.
5 seconds.
Feels like that's become less popular recently. It was like the de facto go-to build for a long time, but now Beastmaster more often picked for that Helm of the Dominator, Helm of the Overlord pushing strength.
Definitely. Yeah, you're absolutely right with that. And we see some repeat on the supports as well. We get the Crystal Maiden coming back again. I'm excited to see this hero getting some attention. She hasn't really been prioritized that much, but a CM Monkey lane is very tough to go into, especially as Beastmaster, who doesn't have the most mobility. He will definitely rely on his Batrider to keep him safe
Team Liquid
in this lane.
And the Frostbite, particularly good at catching and killing the boars in the lane, stopping people in their tracks. A lot of nuke damage from both Maiden and Monkey King. It can bring people down quite quickly.
Yeah, good thing to point out is the boars can be killed off using a single Frostbite. Will kill the boar as it has extended duration on creeps compared to heroes. So they can use that, but they can also just use the double nukes from the Crystal Maiden to kind of slow and then freeze up the enemy and allow Monkey King to get those Jingu charges and then finish off the enemy with a big stun.
Yeah.
So that's looking to be their safe lane most likely, and the Shadow Demon coming to the side lanes.
And a quick couple of picks there from Paravision. So Beastmaster, Batrider, we've seen those. The Monkey and the Crystal Maiden, they're likely going to be facing off against each other in a 2v2. Then we have Sniper for the mid lane, and a similar situation to the last game where we saw that tiny pick from Liquid. Here, Paravision are picking Sniper blind into the mid lane matchup, knowing that Sniper is going to have a good time no matter who he's against, because he's very difficult to counter, and is always going to offer you some long-range damage. And then a Clockwork position 5 for Paravision are going to add a bit of teamfight control and catch, and also a solid hero just to put into the safe lane as a position 5 support.
Yeah, definitely. And Sniper can be a tough hero to play, though, when you have heroes that can jump on top of him. So look for Monkey King to perhaps make rotations, jumping on a tree and then closing the distance onto the Sniper. And maybe they'll pick more heroes that are good at that. And exactly what we see coming out, the Storm gets picked up. A hero known for his mobility.
Are we going to see all of the spirits? We've had Earth, Ember, Storm.
We're missing Void, right?
Just the Void Spirit, yeah.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant
Storm Spirit, another one of these mid lane heroes with lots of mobility and lots of magic damage.
Yeah. And he can use his mana. He has no cooldown at all in his ulti, notably. So he can always close the distance to his target as long as he has enough mana pool. He spends his mana as his resource to travel around. And every single attack is going to do extra magic damage as long as he casts a spell, slowing up the enemy as well.
And notably, he's less tanky than the Earth Spirit, who's very good at brawling and just getting involved, but much higher mobility than him. And I feel like more damage, more scaling from a Storm Spirit, depending on the itemization. Late game, he's got an Aghanim's upgrade, which is similar to what we saw from Enigma in the previous game. A big AoE stun on a lot of heroes, basically equivalent to a black hole.
Yeah, I can show that if Storm gets the Aghanim Scepter, instead of pulling one hero, he can jump in and pull everyone together, clumping them, and then of course you just follow up with a bunch of AoE abilities, making it really easy to dispose of your enemies. That does require him to buy the Aghanim Scepter though, so it's a bit costly, and like you said, it's more of a late game option, not necessarily an item we see any Storm rushing. The game just gonna focus on damage with the Witchblade and the Kaya, most likely, being the common build.
Yeah. Kind of interesting here, thinking back on this draft, Templar Assassin has been left in, and Liquid have opted to not go that direction. So they prefer the Monkey to the Templar Assassin in this game in particular anyway, as a first pick.
Yeah, I think TA is usually more of a counter pick when you already see something. Like you see an enemy offlaner that is vulnerable to her, and you can shut down that lane.
They've just been first picking her though.
Yeah.
Like Liquid just bang out the TA and say that's a TA, deal with it.
Yeah, I'm not always on board with it. It is something they have done, but I think TA is a little bit too vulnerable to be able to do that. I like Monkey King more as an opening pick coming out from them.
And that's their offlaner right now. Terrorblade.
Yeah. TB gets put into the mix as well. A hero that has been making a switch towards the offlane as a hero. Has been absolutely fantastic overall, as he's quite tanky. Probably gonna see him buy a pipe in this game, very likely at least, to get some extra magic resistance, and then he can use his reflection on his enemy to make them hit themselves, slowing them down and also creating this illusion.
And as a high agility, high armor hero, adding the pipe magic resistance just makes him very difficult to kill, no matter what damage type you throw at him.
Yeah, he's also one of those heroes who starts at melee but can become a ranged hero by popping Metamorphosis. And in the ranged form, he does do a ton of damage, getting extra base damage.
And that gives him tower pushing potential.
Yeah. And finally, if you want to kill him, you need to make sure that you stun and disable him, because if you bring him low somehow, but you don't actually stun or silence him, he's just gonna click one button, boom, swap the HP percentage with himself and an enemy, and then he can turn the fight around, maybe killing the enemy instead.
Yeah, lots of tools at disposal. And he can also do that to allies as well. So if the Monkey King finds himself in danger or the Storm is low HP, Terrorblade can help his teammates and heal them by sundering them.
Exactly. Can target illusions, enemies, allies. So this spell has a lot of potential to be used in different ways. It does come with a pretty long cooldown until it's level 3. Then it gets down to 40 seconds. And if we even get into ultra late game, he can get a 30-second CDR, putting it at 10-second cooldowns. And then he can really spam that thing.
Well, one pick left for Paravision now. Crystalis has had a lot of heroes banned against him. Alchemist, Gyrocopter, Razor, his top 3 meta picks gone. And the Monkey King has been picked to block it against him. So he's kind of left with just a Slark.
I was about to say, this has to be a Slark game for him, right? It's one of the few heroes that stand out. It's great for him. He loves to play it. And I think it gives them a little bit of extra catch that they're kind of missing in this game. Slark is also pretty good against stuff like Crystal Maiden, who has a frostbite that you can always dispel very easily using Slark's Dark Pact. Don't really have time to bring him in on the screen as well before the game gets started here, but we've seen Dark Pact before. The ability he can cast to dispel enemy stuns. He can also become invisible using his ultimate, and the enemy cannot see him even if they have detection, and that allows the Slark to be a little bit slippery in fights, hard to bring down, and they don't have crazy catch for him. They're decent, like Vortex from Storm into Monkey King stun can definitely do something, but this is a pretty good Slark game, I would say.
Not too bad. Kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel and still coming out with a nice little prize there, having a little fishy down at the bottom. That feels good for Paravision. Good ways for Paravision to enter the fight with Clock, Bat, and Beastmaster. Good damage from the Sniper and the Slark, and some slippery heroes to kind of get in and out of battles too. Liquid, though, speaking of slippery heroes and maneuverability, they've got 2 of the best heroes to play a wide open map, which has been Liquid style for a long time. Not global presence from a Nature's Prophet or a Spectre, but Monkey King and Storm have that ability to dogpile onto targets when they're stunned a map away. Like multiple screens away, they can make the jump.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing mobility coming out from them. But both teams have high mobility, I would say, with the Clockwork able to hook shot in, Slark with the pounce. On the opposite team, you have the Storm and the Monkey King. So both teams able to get in there on the enemy backline. It'll be a fight for position. And if the previous games tell us anything, Gareth, this is going to be, again, an action-packed game, because they really went at it all the way from the start of the game.
Yeah, and it wasn't like boring, AFK farming. It was fighting, non-stop, vying for control of areas of the map, looking for key pickups, playing around timings. Very close between these two teams in the best of 5 grand final. Nisha looking down into the river at a Slark who's trying to figure out where the vision is. Puts his observer on the ground and picks it up. Nisha going to be seen walking forward with an observer in his hands. A little bit of a win on the intel game there for Paravision. Knowing the ward hasn't been placed means there's no vision right now in the mid lane, and limited places Storm could go and place it without being noticed.
It's very difficult to ward because Slark has this innate ability called Barracuda Regen, which gives him regen when he's not in enemy vision. So this allows him to check if the enemies see him when he goes different places. So we see him playing around mid, just walking up, checking if the ward has been planted anywhere. So it makes it super hard to ward mid lane against the Slark. And even when he heads down to bottom lane, he might find this ward that is planted.
Gets the bounty rune as well. So 3 for Paravision.
And Slark, not being spotted right now, is going to find out just now that he walks into vision. See if Crystalis pings it. He should be realizing.
Now you're trying to kind of, echolocate it, right?
Yeah. He'll probably pay a lot of attention to it. At least now he doesn't have any Any pings coming out, but maybe they'll sentry it later.
Might do. So down bottom, Boxy on Shadow Demon. A hero we've seen previously with Disruption. You take a hero out of the game for a couple of seconds and create some illusions of them. Good defensively to save people, but can also be used in lane offensively, as the illusions do a fair amount of damage.
Yeah. And also Saberlight coming out with the aggressive level 1 Metamorphosis. A lot of time we see the Reflection instead, but using a level 1 meta to just take over the first creep wave, no way to walk up against 87 damage per hit ranged hero. Slark is just like, nah, I'm gonna wait out the duration on that one. Does not want to go and fight him.
Look at these stacks of, is it called Menace? The Shadow Demon's putting onto the clockwork, like 9 stacks up, amping the damage.
They last for a long time, so every single attack you take from Shadow Demon will increase the damage you take from him by 2%. And that does add up over a while. So if you get auto attacked for too long, you have to go reset it.
Well, Chrysalis and Ducalis kind of sit back and wait for the Metamorphosis to expire before showing their faces in the lane. Now they can start last hitting, actually playing some Dota 2. Well, in the mid lane, Sniper 8 and nothing against the Storm Spirit 7 and 1. Storm Spirit usually excels against melee heroes in the mid lane and can suffer against a Sniper who's very good at last hitting.
Yeah, Sniper quite a counterpick to Storm mid. It's difficult because Storm has to go close to put down his Remnant, and every time he tries to do that, you can see Shrapnel coming down, Sniper wants to attack into him, providing some headshot damage. So this lane is not easy for Nisha. We'll see how much she can get away with. Once the power treads comes out for a Sniper, the lane becomes very hard.
Yeah, and situations like
Radiant's
this,
courier
I
has been killed.
used the phrase earlier on today or yesterday, I can't remember now, as Mickey gets first blood on 9 class. But I said someone was, good in the lane but bad in the game. And in this kind of situation, Storm is bad in the lane against the Sniper, but good in the game against the Sniper, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's still one of the best heroes in the game against Sniper, so as long as you survive the laning stage in decent shape, later on you can punish Sniper, since the Sniper's worst nightmare is any hero that can jump on top of you. And Storm has the best mobility, you could argue, in the game.
And that's why when we talk about hero counters and counters in general in Dota, there's lots of caveats and asterisks put next to them, right? Like, okay, Sniper counters Storm for the first 4 minutes, 5 minutes, but then Storm Spirit has his Bull Lightning ability to get on top of him. There's no such thing as just a straight hard counter in Dota.
No, not quite. You need to understand your timings and play towards your strengths, always. Let's see the players try and do exactly that. So far, talking about the top lane and Mickey's Monkey King, off to a pretty decent start, 15-3, but they have not been able to shut down DM's Beastmaster, protected by the Batrider, who has a great positioning overall.
Mickey with a couple of stacks of napalm on him has a full magic wand, tries to dodge the axes. Not as easy anymore though, since they changed Mischief to be a very small window of effectiveness.
Exactly, it used to be 0.2 seconds where you were invulnerable when you press this Mischief ability on Monkey King, which is a free ability where he transforms, but now only 0.1 seconds of invulnerability, so a bit harder to dodge some abilities and prevent that damage.
It's faster than some people can react.
Yeah.
1 second. Yeah, if you see projectiles flying at you or a big amount of damage coming your way, you've got that very brief moment to dodge away from it.
Exactly, it's very short, very quick, but if you time it correctly, you could prevent some big damage attacks.
Nisha doesn't want to miss out on the range creep, so has to TP back to his tower. Owen was holding a very nice position there where he was kind of cutting off the angle for Nisha to come back to the lane. 5-9 against a 16-1. No one really showing off here with some shrapnels and damage onto Nisha. Not quite enough to kill him. And he did still have that little green item in his inventory, the Fairy Fire, which is a bit of burst heal, which could have saved him if he took any further damage.
Yeah, he is doing a great job though, sending his static remnants forward, getting last hits wherever he can. So while the lane is difficult, 17-1, he's able to get something, and he's starting to stack up jungle for himself as well.
Radiant are
Bottom lane.
Can we expect the Maiden or I guess any supports to rotate mid to help the Storm?
Yeah, we might see rotations, but actually it's going to be 9 class coming in to gank instead. So when you have a vulnerable lane like this, you can try and help it, but you can also do what 9 class is doing and saying, yo, that's looks like an easy kill for me. Come in, 1 flame break, and that's all that it takes. And I think Crystal Maiden probably is better off just trying to win 1 lane at this point.
Yeah, and if anywhere, she'll go through a twin gate as the movement she makes. Maybe once we get to minute 6, which is coming up, we could see some rotations to guard the rune. But I also want to point out the Dire did scan that. The Batrider was missing and the Dire scanned, but 9 class was like a couple of steps ahead and was ahead of the scan. It's sure to dodge it.
Even if you were aware of the Batrider coming in mid, what are you gonna do? Like, Nisha can't just suddenly not be mid. TPing out is a horrible play, so you just have to try and survive. Nice disruption by Boxy.
And one of the classic combos here, Firefly plus Cogs, trapping someone in a cage where they're just burnt to a crisp.
Created a little oven for the poor Storm. Gets tipped as well as he dies twice before hitting level 6. This is very, very important, by the way. Storm needs level 6 before he gets the mobility, and now he died twice back to back, meaning TP is still on cooldown. This is called the walk with shame. What he's gonna have to do now, walk out of the base and try and get his way back to mid lane.
He might even drop off in the jungle for a little bit to kill some neutral camps before he goes there.
And there's already an observer ward though planted, so they're spotting him to prevent him from farming any jungle, and no one even taking away some jungle creeps.
A rough one for Nisha to start out here with 17 last hits, not level 6 yet on the Storm, while no one has a completely free time. Are the other lanes going better for Liquid to maybe try and pick things up if the Storm's doing so poorly?
Radiant's top
They're doing
tower
solidly.
is under attack.
Sableye on his Terrorblade is farming quite well. He is ahead of the Slark by quite a bit.
I'm sorry, the Carlos is stealing Wisdom Rune here, and my cat just put her paw up to scratch the screen at the clockwork. So you're not allowed to get away with this. My cat knows that the Carlos is doing some sneaky business.
She also wants the Wisdom Rune, man. Your cat wants to be wise.
She does, yeah. I mean, Wisdom Rune stolen, Ducalis, if he dies here, well worth it, because now you're looking at Liquid with lacking experience on their support. Oh, and Mickey is dying top. The damage over time, no one needs to finish him before he gets the DM. There's the assassination. Takes the Monkey King down a notch.
All kinds of trouble here coming out for Liquid in the early game.
Almost out of mana.
No mana at all. He was looking for a bottle refill, but no bounty rune to be found. And he's being spotted, so has to walk all the way to base again. So they lost the Wisdom runes. Now their supports are falling behind. Storm is struggling on the mid lane, and the Monkey King just got killed. Only one who's having a really good game is Saberlight.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Terrorblade is a hero that can pull himself up by the bootstraps and become another carry. Very often buys utility items early on, but definitely scales through his normal skill set.
Yeah, we might see him later on pick up some carry-styled items, but gonna start out with the pipe to try and add survivability to himself and his team. We see again the attention towards mid lane, even after the 8-minute rune. Of course, Storm has the level 6 now, so it's a whole different story trying to kill him now. Their supports don't actually lock Storm in place. So Clockwork and Batrider, they can't quite kill him at this stage.
Yeah, but a 9-minute tier 1 tower mid lane, that's got to hurt for Liquid as their map now starts to become a little bit smaller, darker, and scarier. Top jungle, not going to be safe at all.
Yeah, now they can start eyeing up that top tower. The sniper, having taken 1 tower already, could think about rotating to the Beastmaster, play around him, the Hum of the Dominator that allows him to take 1 more creep and get some pushing power is just about to finish up. So he's about to hit a power spike that they can play into.
Some neutral items coming out now. Mickey gets a broom handle, that's not too bad. Might have to evacuate that top lane if Paravision do bring the numbers up there. So far, it looks like Crystal is having a pretty quiet time, but having an okay time in terms of last hits and net worth. It hasn't been really shut down by the Shadow Demon and Terrorblade. They didn't offer too much aggressive harassment onto him. Tanked everything for him.
The moves towards mid lane have really alleviated any pressure the Slark would have felt, so he's just finding himself able to farm away down bottom. And the fact that Storm has had a tough early game also lowers the chance of Storm ganking the Slark.
Rider banished for now. This is a potential fight they can take, but Mickey decides it is time to run when the sniper arrives. A roar onto Boxy, takes down the Shadow Demon, and the Crystal Maiden very slow on her feet. We've already talked about one of the slowest heroes in the game as she gets trapped up on top of the cliff by that displacement tool which Batrider has.
The flame break from Batrider, able to push her back, and movement speed is not really CM's hot suit. He's struggling a bit with the reposition like that, and top tower now going to fall. dominated range creep. Not the best creep to have, but at least it's something. We'll see DM probably go and grab himself a better creep soon in the jungle. Generally, you don't want to take the lane creeps. They're not the strongest, but it was good just to increase the push power immediately.
Well, the question with potentially a lot of depth to it. What makes Terrorblade able to be played off lane? Because Terrorblade was always a carry, like a hard carry for the longest time.
I would say the defining things that makes Terrorblade work as an offlane is, first of all, that he's hard to kill. With the pipe build, it kind of covers his squishiness. Having so much armor, going for pipe, makes him hard to bring down, and that's usually a key trait on offlaners. He has pushing power built in, which is a great addition. And in this current patch, you can get away with some greedier offlane heroes that can scale as long as they provide early game fighting power as well, which he does on the back of this, but he just used the metamorphosis. Look at him just pushing into that tower alone.
And then having a spell like Reflection with no mana cost and no cooldown, basically.
Yeah, Reflection was definitely overbuffed over time, and the final thing that pushed him into high priority and high level teams is actually the Shard. You go back for the Aghanim Shard on Terrorblade, and it's just tremendously impactful. You get 30 seconds of 100 movement speed and 100 attack speed for yourself and your illusions, and you get 20 HP regen per second. That's just a crazy deal, and it's a 60-second cooldown, so 50% uptime on that. Now, it only works when you're in the melee form. It will not do stuff for you in the metamorphosis. And your illusions get a lowered value as well.
Not in class. Hooked up by some disables from the two liquid supports, and Nisha finally getting something in this game. Throws the tip immediately onto 9 class as he gets the takedown on the bat.
That tip kind of tells you that this was recover the mental stability of Nisha on the mid lane. He's been having a struggle game so far, the least farmed of all the cores, but finally getting to get a kill and tip back the enemy is an important kill for the mood.
Yeah, I guess a bonus question about that TB. The reflection, you get auras of enemy heroes when you use it on them, right?
Correct.
So in an aura meta where everyone's buying auras and use the reflection onto multiple heroes, you get all of their auras for your team for that duration.
That's very true. Yeah. If the enemy has Assault Cuirass or Radiance or Vladimirs, you will steal those by reflecting them, at least for a duration of the illusion being there. So it's very nice, very handy to have.
Top lane evacuated here by the Beastmaster. Carlos kind of walking into his own demise there, as it seemed like DM had a good read that Liquid were coming to kill him. Even dropped as well. The chat wheel.
Making a nice play. He wrapped around with the illusion, putting it in front of Clockwork, so Clock couldn't hook away. Otherwise, Clockwork can hook to an ally or an enemy, but it was blocked by the illusion of TB, so it didn't go anywhere. Also,
pipe done.
Yeah, there's a big item just completed on Crystallis, so we might see him join fights a bit more. He has the Orchid, so the item that can silence your opponent is insanely good against the Storm. Even against TB and Monkey King, it's not a bad item to have.
I thought he was going Mage Slayer. I saw some components that they share, and I was like, yeah, Mage Slayer Slark, we've seen that plenty. Storm against the Storm is super valuable.
Here comes the silence. Pop in, silence.
Moves forward, starts with the Storm, counters forward, and they've got the follow through here with 9 class, not even needing the lasso. He had it and he held it. Meanwhile, over on the left side of the map though, Wukong's command and a Metamorphosis here to kill off DM, but the follow through from Paravision allows him to take down the Monkey King. Maybe a bit more here. Boxy and Sableye both TPing back to safety, but Liquid biting off more than they could chew yet another time.
Yeah, DM also did bring down Insania, so they got 3 kills total there with the mid kill on Storm as well. They lost their Wisdom Rune, but I think they're still very happy with this momentum they get from the kills. Able to take over more of the map, and Liquid still struggling a bit.
Do it with flair.
Liquid not able to really latch onto anything meaningful yet. They do get themselves a Wisdom Rune now, though, as Boxy grabs it on the right-hand side. Something that's been left to them, the scraps.
Wow, we already have a Mjolnir on the mid sniper, so he decided to go for a super heavy DPS item, going super high on the attack speed and also proccing these little lightnings. So at this point, you kind of have to go on the sniper, or he's going to bring down everyone else. He's farming under a ward,
Radiant's bottom tower is under
looking
attack.
to maybe set up and catch him. Gonna wrap around instead.
That static charge, so that Mjolnir that he has, it's got some passive lightning attacks. Whenever you hit, there's a percentage chance to launch lightning, get some damage and attack speed. It also has this active, which is like a shell of lightning, right? You put onto an allied hero, and whenever they get hit by, little bits of damage here and there, lightning spams out from them.
Exactly. So a lightning shield, essentially, you can put on your frontliners usually. Very good to put on like clockwork before you hook shots in. And again, a takedown on the Monkey King.
Now, what about the Batrider? Being
Under attack.
very difficult hero for Monkey King to deal with.
Yeah, Monkey is a fantastic pick to have Batrider against it, and their kill threats are so big on Paravision. But right now, look at Slark running at the enemy, using that Orchid. No counterplay for CM, can't cast a single spell.
Dire's top tower
freebie.
is under attack.
I mean, Batrider uses Firefly to cut down trees. Lasso is this inevitable stun. It pierces magic immunity, or debuff immunity.
And top tower already removed with the help of the Helm of the Overlord on Beastmaster. It's already taken away that structure. Team Liquid losing access to their own jungle. And with Slark being this oppressive, hunting for kills, they can't really safely go down to bottom part of the map. If you look, nobody in Team Liquid has made it down there to farm that area. Instead, it's going to be Slark going to pick up a huge creep wave. As the wave has stacked up over time here, he's going to come in and take all this.
And we like this from Slark as well. Something you pointed out previously is that Crystallis is very good on this hero at buying sentries for himself. Because you pointed out earlier on, he's got that passive, which lets him know when he's under vision. So whenever that happens, he can just de-ward.
Extremely rare to see a carry hero run around with sentries. That's like seeing a unicorn in Dota, right? But Slark in particular is very unique. Being able to see when he's under vision makes him fantastic for just making your opponents play blindly.
How much money do you get for an observer ward? 150 plus?
Yeah, 150. It scales with time. It's like 150 or something like that at this stage.
And then a sentry costs 50, so you're automatically getting 100 gold profit straight off
wards, yeah, wards give experience too, so why not go ahead and get that? He knows that he's under vision right now. He walked by an observer ward for a little bit, but you gotta pay attention. You lose it very quickly.
He gets jumped by the Storm and the Monkey, so 9 class gets taken down a notch. Inside the cons though, the Terrorblade and the Monkey King kind of trapped here. Saberlight sunders the Monkey King to save him. Gives him a hit point back, so Monkey King stays alive, while Nisha on the left side tries to kill the sniper off, but no one's too tanky. The double Wraith Band shreds no one. Sniper stands his ground, and he's just a turret. Killing people off, but he's gonna fall here as Mickey makes the jump, Bound Strike, and a Demonic Purge to kill him, but DM is left to lap up all of the leftovers.
That was an amazing fight for Paravision, just standing their ground with Sniper behind them, dealing so much damage to Terrorblade. You know, you have a lot of armor, but against Mjolnir Sniper with shrapnel laying into you, this TB did not look tanky at all, even with the help of the pipe. You can see the damage dealt by Sniper, 4,500 damage in that fight. You killed him in the end, but was it worth it? Probably not.
Liquid gets something, but it doesn't feel like it's enough to stem the flow of bleeding which they're suffering currently. Paravision, you talked about this map control, the towers they've taken. The map currently for Liquid is very dark. You know, they only see their creep waves and their towers outside of any observer wards they've placed. Slark is killing those observer wards, so when the map gets even smaller, Liquid don't have things to play towards.
And a lot of credit here is coming into the fact that they managed to shut down both the Storm and the Monkey King in this game. That's why Paravision are having such a good time. Mid was always going to be a tough matchup against the Sniper, but they played so well top lane with Batrider and Beast to make sure the Monkey didn't have a good entrance into this game. And while TB was strong, he hasn't really been as able to move around the map. Look at Slark. With his night vision, he sees the Monkey King. Another topic we haven't really touched on, but night vision is a thing where you have more night vision on some heroes. Slark has full night vision, so you can see the Monkey first there and jumps him. Normally heroes have reduced vision during nighttime, so Monkey King could not spot that.
Does Batrider still have the different vision as well?
It does not. Not increase the night vision on Batrider, I believe.
Okay.
Batrider, there were even heroes that had different vision before, and then all of those were changed. I believe Batrider is normal vision now.
So Batrider now, according to this wiki, is 1600 during day and 800 during night.
Yeah, and 800 is normal. Isn't 800 normal?
Oh, is it? Oh, yes. Sure.
Let me just double check that for you.
But there's heroes like Night Stalker, Bane, Slark, Sniper all have increased ones where they've got ranging from like 1400 to 1800. You might be right. 800 might be the
Yeah, 800 is default. Yeah, 800 is default. But
Radiant's courier.
what did you say his daytime vision was?
1600.
Okay, so that's the he's still a little bit blind. He's minus 200 daytime vision. Because 1800 is the regular daytime vision. So yeah, blind as a bat, you know, a little bit. But I believe you used to have night vision as well. There were a ton of heroes like Enchantress and all kinds of different heroes have night vision. Nowadays, it's more limited to like Slark and Night Stalker. These are the big ones.
Stuff.
Yeah. It's easier to keep track of now, but it's a bit confusing for us old bums who played Dota forever.
Yeah, because Bat was a hero that had flying vision and more night vision.
Tower is under attack.
So he could just see everything.
They do have more vision advantage in the game. Sniper also has increased night vision, by the way. So he has the goggles on.
Oh man, Insania just walks into this artillery gunshot. Now the silence on the Terrorblade makes sure Sableye is dead. I mean, this game is falling apart very quickly for Liquid. Disruption to damage and hold back the clockwork keeps Ducalis at bay for now. And Monkey King leaping across the canopy of trees to get to safety. Foxy might not have the same luxury though. Eyed up by the blood grenade thrown at him, and axes with the dragon chasing forward gives Cripplet the chance to finish him off.
You're not outrunning a Slark as a Shadow Demon. Even if you throw your ulti, this Slark has Aghanim Scepter, giving him 2 charges on the pounce and also very long range on the pounce. So he can hop after you and catch you. And look at him, he's not wasting any time farming. He understands the game perfectly, that this is just hunting time for him.
It's so like perfect from Paravision in this game.
Tower is under
They're playing a crazy game of Dota here. 16,000 lead at 22 minutes in.
Dire's bottom
I'm already saying that Liquid, you know, you need a miracle to stop the bleeding at this point. You have a Yule Scepter on the Storm, that's great. You can get rid of the silence. But what are your aggressive capabilities? He's missing damage, no Witchblade, and you feel like you need a lot of items here to turn the game around. You need BKB on the Monkey King to have him be able to stand in the fights at all.
It honestly feels like another situation where, you know, coming back to what Chrysalis said again, there are some heroes that we pick and you just can't deal with it. In this kind of draft order where they third picked Sniper, Liquid had a chance to kind of combat the Sniper and did it with the Storm Spirit. But that's not enough, just having one hero, right? They need in tandem Storm and Monkey to both have decent lanes, good games, and launch themselves from a platform where they're feeling reasonably comfortable, at least.
I think the newcomer chat had it right. You know, you needed to perhaps make some rotations towards the mid lane and alleviate the pressure on the Storm.
Yeah.
You know, they give him a chance to get into the game, because Storm really has just been playing hide and seek. He's playing a horror game instead of actually playing Dota.
Already 23 minutes in, no one is on your high ground destroying your barracks.
Radiant's middle tower
Change this Black Dragon.
Dire's bottom barracks.
How do you respond to this? I don't know how you go on the Sniper with Aegis. You can't really kill that. You can try and go on the Slark, I guess, but it's very difficult since he has that defensive ability and Dark Pact.
I thought you got to ask the UN to come in and make like a demilitarized zone or something. You know, wave across the border, like, hello, what's up? Nine class, if that rider has free access to fly over the top, catch Sableye, kill him for 40 seconds, and Paravision.
They're going for the end.
Going for tier 4s?
Yeah, they're just saying we don't need to back. Currently, creep wave has been cut though. They have one more range
Look
creep.
at no one. He's like, what are we doing, guys? We can't kill tier 4s in minute 24.
Yeah. Let's just relax a little bit, not get ahead of ourselves. This is grand finals. We're gonna run into Nisha in the tree line.
Oh, hello there. Storm Spirit zipping around trying to find what he can.
The Assassinate shows him.
Oh my god. Cancels the TP, now he's out of mana. Nisha in danger. Oh, he flew too close to the sun, surrounded now by 9 class, DM and no one. A final touch here. Out with the Bat Rider, gets the kill on the Storm.
And meanwhile, the carries are fighting up, but I don't know if Monkey King can win this battle. He does
Bottom
get
right.
a nice stun.
Monkey against Slark. Wukong's command will come out. Chrysalis, a lot of stacks being built up though, and it's mano in mano. Tech down near the Roshan pit. He's got himself a shard to go back in Veers, and Mickey, not an honorable fight as the Batrider shows up, but nonetheless, Liquid lose 3 cores in quick succession.
41 times there to kill him. He got 41 stacks.
Stealing 1, 2, 3 agility.
Yeah, 123 bonus agility on the Slark right now. 262 agility. 25 minutes into the game, he's heading down to do some pushing with that 300 base damage he's rocking.
Is that a roar? Let's go on over mid lane. Saberlight, raw, leashed, killed, pummeled, destroyed. 44 seconds again on the sidelines as a bit of deja vu. Paravision go for another lane of barracks.
After all these crazy close fought games, we just have a game with Paravision say, you know what? Nah, this is easy. Let's just end the game.
Dire's middle barracks.
It's a no-starter for Liquid. They couldn't get
Dire's
off the
top
ground.
tower is under attack. Radiant are
It's
scared.
a floppy game for.
Dire's structures are
They've
fortified.
still got some tools. You know, Liquid, and you can never count them out. Got Storm, they've got Monkey King. That gap close, that damage.
They're wrapping
But
around.
Time Class and Broken Vision. He sees the storm. He knows what's coming. And he even plays aggressively into them, trying to get a lasso or something.
Meanwhile, the Monkey King is dying.
Oh my god,
Lord is in.
Crystallis inside the tier 4s. Kills the monkey, forces the buyback. Shadow Demon also has to spend money to return to the battlefield. And Paravision falling back here as it looks like on the right-hand side, 9 class has an opening on Insania. While in the mid, no one. First life down. Aegis claimed. Storm Spirit does get the takedown on the Batrider. Insania's dead and forced to buyback, while Saberlight can't get close to anyone to Sunder, and Monkey King dead inside of his ring. Dead on the buyback. 2 cores gone, and maybe this time they can go for tier 4. There's the assassination from no one. Good game call. Congrats. Grand final won by Paravision. A 3-1 victory here over Liquid.
And they've done it. Paravision, this team has been looking so hot lately. They've been looking amazing, and honestly, it's so well deserved. They've played amazing Dota from the group stage, and they just keep going. What a takedown against the TI defending champions Liquid. They get the win in the grand finals. Big congratulations.
As a newer roster as well, right? Crystallis coming from Secret, this Entity Cloud9 mix, shuffling players back and forth, make this 5-man squad work in the last couple of tournaments.
Yeah, amazing to watch. They played so well, and I am so happy for no one. Look at him. He's just, you know, the old veteran in this squad, and he's bringing a lot of professionalism, I want to say. He's just so experienced, and he's played amazing. Like, honestly, one of his best tournaments I think I've ever seen him play.
Oh, yeah, really beautiful stuff. Like, we've been talking about him in the group stages, returning to old form, you know, being the god of the mid lane back on Virtus Pro and Vega Squadron, now returning to that form and winning a major LAN event in 2024. What, 6 years after his heyday? He didn't retire. He stayed in the thick of things. Crystallis as well, right? Coming out and winning a major LAN here has got to be huge for him too, after coming second place at TI and then kind of stumbling down into the dregs in the bottom of the DPC.
And getting to finish it on a Slark game 9-0 and 9, not dying a single time. Amazing for him.
Absolutely
Huge.
beautiful.
Yeah, hype up the crowd. You've earned it.
Absolutely well deserved. I'm glad to see no one pick up the trophy first as well. Thank you so much all for joining us here on the Newcomer stream. If you've still got
Shout out
questions,
to the chat.
yeah, shout out for all your questions. Really helped us out to have topics of conversation. Answering your questions was a lot of fun.
And please, you know, just enjoy the rest of the ceremony here. And we have had such a good time with you guys here. So thank you so much for tuning in. We will soon be heading over to the winner's interview with Slacks on stage.
Yeah, we will in a short moment. And make sure if you do have any further questions, drop them in chat now, tweet at us, Reddit, wherever you are, we are. Tag us and we'll try and answer. Because we love this game. We've watched it and played it for so long. We'd love to see new people coming in and joining as well. I think,
look at that. That's a huge trophy, man.
Absolutely is. But I think we'll leave it here. Let the room breathe. Let you watch the champions lift their trophy. And Slacks will be coming along with a winner's interview momentarily. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Thanks, Waga. It's been a pleasure as always as we throw it over to Slacks and Tsunami.